Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. We would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender, Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket.
Well, England haven't won a T20 series against India for over 8 years, and Mark Wood is broken, but Rohit Sharma has hardly set this tournament alive. Sky, as we know, is unlimited, and Phil Salt will be looking to open some wounds in place of the also injured Dawid Malan. Such are the imponderables of an England-India World T20 semi-final. Good morning, good afternoon, good dawn, good dusk, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Guerrilla Cricket, the crunchiest, tastiest revolutionary cricket you're likely to hear today. I'm Guerrilla Hendo, Nigel Henderson, and I'm joined by the sage of Singapore. It's none other than an Indo.
Morning, Hendo.
Morning.
Delighted to be here for this match today.
We're delighted to have you here. Hopefully we will grind you into the dust, and England will emerge triumphant.
May your words never come true.
Indeed, indeed. Also, alongside me in a virtual sense, all the way over there in his bat cave in Western Australia, a man with the same name as me, but not anything like as good looking. It's Messi Jez.
But at least I'm not called Nigel. Hello,
That's
Hendo.
true.
Hello, Ninda.
Well, what do we think? England have won the toss and have put India into bat, but we have to talk about these missing England players, Dawid Malan and Mark Wood especially. How big an effect do we think that's going to have an Indo?
I think they will miss Mark Wood's speed, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Who's that? It's Jordan who's replaced him, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Jordan, but let's see how he bowls. He's a bit on and off, I think.
He is.
But Mark Wood at 150 would have been, it would have been lovely to see Kohli hitting him for a 6, but then that's not to be.
Or yes, I was just looking at the Sky coverage this morning, and they were showing Suryakumar Yadav hitting his first ball in T20 cricket off Jofra Archer for a 6. He's going to be important today as well, isn't he? Potentially.
He is. I mean, every match, honestly, he's the one who's come and really made the difference when India's won.
And also, look back to the summer. I think when India were in England and beat England 2-1 in that series, the one game that England won, India really didn't put out a full-strength side. And also, Suryakumar hit a massive 117, I think it was, off 55 balls. Extraordinary stuff. And
he played another one day in that series where every single shot was a copybook cricket shot, which is just incredible. The range of shots he has on off.
Well, they talk about 360. I think he may have 720 degrees actually of shots. To be honest, he's been so incredible. Rohit Sharma though hasn't got runs, and he's going to be facing up initially to, would you believe, none other than this man.
Ben? Ben Stokes.
Oh, it's a great evening in Adelaide. Packed crowd at the Adelaide Oval. And hopefully there'll be loads of you joining us on Twitter. We'll be catching up with you ASAP. Ben Stokes is going to be bowling to this man.
264.
He can't possibly score 264 in a T20 international, can he? I'm a little bit worried. Yeah, massive. It's a massive miss, isn't it, Mark Wood? He's pulled up lane, I'm afraid to say. He can't even get through a series of 4 or 5 games in which he only has to bowl 4 overs. Just imagine what sort of bowler he would be if he was fit the whole time. It would be incredible.
He was bowling magnificently. He really was bowling well.
Yeah, I mean, even in that, I think that game against Sri Lanka, was it, when he went for 17 off the first over, he came back and ended up with figures of 3 for 26, I think it was. So they're not just going to miss him at the early on in the maybe in the power play, but also a little bit later as well. Kumar Dharmasena is standing in his 41st T20 international. Some of the less familiar umpiring names have stood in an awful lot of T20 internationals. And I can only imagine that's because they've been doing the rounds of associate nations and various things like that as well. Only the 27th T20 international for Paul Rifle of Australia, who is also standing. Those are the standing umpires for this game. We're obviously just waiting for the clock to tick to the top of the hour. Well, top of the hour here, bottom of the hour in Adelaide, I think, isn't it, Messi? They're about
it is indeed.
Yeah, it's a half an. You know, there's something in a half an hour.
Bizarre.
They're very contrarian down
They
there,
are.
like India.
Bloody
Like
Southern
India, exactly.
Australians.
India and Bangladesh and Sri Lanka are the only ones I can think of which have a half an hour difference.
You really like to confuse us. So yes, we are looking at above that marvellous Adelaide scoreboard. There is a clock there, and we are just waiting it to tick round to exactly 6:30, and we will be underway. Who is going to face Pakistan at the MCG on Sunday? In comes Stokes, bowls carved by Rohit Sharma, and immediately he puts India on the board. Down, is it Rahul? Down to third man for one of these. Little bit of swing there for Stokes, but it started too wide, went wider. Rahul threw the bat at it, and away it went.
One thing you've got to do at Adelaide is bowl straight.
Bowl straight.
Oh.
No one's told Ben Stokes to bowl straight. Goodness me, what is going on? They've got all these analysts, but no one has told him that. He's coming in again. He's got a slip. He bowls, and that's a little bit wide again, and it's forced out on the offside, where there are very short boundaries, more or less in the same area. Liam Livingstone does defielding, so just a single on this occasion. 5 for no wicket. Rohit comes down to face. I suppose I should do the Rahul jingle, even though he's not about to face. That's enough. That's just to tell you that he's out there. We don't need all 23 seconds of that. 5 for no wicket. Looks a little bit cloudy in Adelaide. Not much sun filtering through, not that sort of early evening sunshine which we love so much. Stokes is in to Rohit. Oh, he aims a drive, but booming, swinging delivery, and is beaten outside the off stump. He has a little bit of a grin about it, but that was quite a good ball from Stokes, although it did start quite wide. It tempted him into the shot.
It's not very difficult to tempt Rohit Sharma into shots.
He likes shots.
To be fair.
He's a big fan of shots. You're absolutely right. Yes, as you can tell from his record, he does like to feel bat on ball. In comes Stokes again, bowls. Slightly better ball. They are going to go single here as it's steered up to mid-off. Chris Jordan does the fielding. Throw comes into the non-striker's end, well backed up. India moved to 6 for no wickets. Any thoughts on
which is very extravagant, because I think in the last 2 matches they've had 2 maiden overs to start with.
Well, wasn't it? Oh, that's right. Of course, I was doing one of those games, wasn't it? India, South Africa. It was at least 9 balls before anyone scored in that one.
And against Pakistan.
Yeah. Yes, that's curious. I was going to ask, maybe we'll get it at the end of the over, opinions about England putting India in. Yeah. Stokes in to Rahul, and Rahul plays forward to this one and is beaten himself by one that didn't really seem to move, so perhaps that was just playing down the wrong line. England putting India in, was anyone any feelings about why they would have done that?
Well, I think the India's record is what makes them do that. Makes all teams do that, actually, because India's far better chasing.
Right.
So I think that's also the reason to do it.
Okay, Stokes comes in to complete the over, driven by Rohit, but straight up to mid-off. There is Chris Jordan, and there is no run. It's the end of the first over. India have made 6. It could have been worse. It felt like it was going to be worse after the first ball, but Messi Jez has some messages.
The alternative porn bot showing its colours. It says, we're bowling first, we're fucked. Mog says, I'm getting all sorts of hell buffering trying to listen via the website. I may be forced to look upon your gnarled visages via SpewTube. Hello there, may the least team named India win. Mayank says, 3 a.m. start for me, exhausted, but I knew a nap before would knock me out. Ready for this India win. Hopefully they'll get 200 to 210, then skittling them for 75.
Oh no, that'd be boring. Surely that would be very boring.
Yeah.
We want something a bit more competitive than that. Let me cause you to break off just for a moment while I introduce the bowler.
Oh no.
He's on Instagram, and he's a Twitter fan. On the Ashes tour, not Ben Stokes, but he'll have to do.
Chris Wokes will be bowling to Rohit Sharma, the India captain. Don't forget, we've got Chris Wokes. We've got him in the studio. We've got Chris Woke, I should say. His avatar. In comes Wokes, bowls straight, pushed up to mid-on. There will be no run. There's Jordan. He's at mid-off one end. He's at mid-on the other. And he's being kept busy. There is, of course, a new quizcast out from Guerrilla Cricket, which is available to everyone, not just Patreons. You can get it on Podbean. You can get it on our website. It's called Who's That Weirdo? And it's quite a bit of fun. And then in between the questions, we've got Chris Woke with his particular take on forced inclusion in cricket and various things like that. He is the social justice warrior of Guerrilla Cricket. Here is Chris Wokes in bowls, flicked away off the pads by Rohit Sharma. Should get a couple here, and indeed they do. Rohit moves to 3. India move to 8 for no wickets. GPL is open. We had a winner yesterday. We had 2 winners yesterday, would you believe? Who each won £22.50. Okay, it's not as much as 330 quid as someone won the other week, but £22.50 it'll make. I'll tell you what it will buy you. It'll just about buy you a steak sandwich at the Emirates to watch Arsenal. I saw this on my. This is flicked again into the onside, exactly the same position. Will they come back for the second this time? Not sure they will. Just the one. Yeah, I was looking at my Facebook feed last night, and someone was getting outraged because a steak sandwich at the Emirates for an Arsenal game cost £22.50.
What?
I know!
Jesus.
Absolutely unbelievable. And then there was someone trying to justify it, saying...
Bad as going to Lord's.
Well, just saying, just because you can't afford it, mate. Who can afford a steak sandwich at a football match for £22.50? I don't know. Anyway, the score here is 9 for no wicket. Hopefully the the refreshments that you can get at the Adelaide Oval will be nothing like as expensive as that. Although you can only ever buy tiny, tiny beers in Australia, can't you? Wokes in again. Shawball's got an edge to it. He's out. He's gone. Butler takes the catch, and England have struck. That one had a little bit of extra pace, had a little bit of extra bounce, and he tried to prod it away into the offside. Got the shoulder of the bat only to it, and through it goes to Butler. England have struck through the wonder that is Chris Woke, and he is on his way.
After you've gone.
Although, I mean, I suppose, an Indo, you may not be that disappointed about that, because then it brings your proper batsman in, doesn't it?
Well, Rahul's, in the last, to be fair to him, the last 2 to 3 innings, he has found some sort of form. So it is a pity that he won't be able to score runs. The good thing about it is that because he's so slow up front usually, that it's been putting a lot of pressure on Rohit, who does not have form right now. So maybe Virat's entry allows Rohit to play his game. We'll see.
Could be that. Words I thought I'd never hear from you. To be fair to KL Rahul, but we have heard them. We will be putting them into an algorithm.
I'm always fair to KL Rahul. He was just fucking awful.
Anyway,
my fault.
the man who's come to the wicket is none other than Virat Kohli, and Virat Kohli drives. Oh, he looks imperious already, but the ubiquitous Chris Jordan is round to field. Let's jingle up the new batsman.
The Indian says signals that they'll knock us on her arse. The pitches are prepared without a sign of grass. The score is mounting quickly and they've got a talking lead. We don't mind the challenges of being we don't need. He lets us all his shots when the bowlers are fatigued. And we wait to find the matches dead and our doom is Virat. And Davey Warner rides around and says Kohli's the cat, Kohli's the cat.
Kohli is so much of a cat that he races through like a small feline, taking off in pursuit of a mouse as he turns this up to Chris Jordan. You've got to be a brave man to take a single to Chris Jordan, but he does. It's the end of the second over. India are 10 for 1, and Messages has more people waiting to have their say.
I must say that I do think hanging around us has had a bad effect on Anindo's language. Jay says, morning all, after Who's That Weirdo, which I was particularly bad at, I've come to the conclusion that Hendo should never be near any position of power, ever.
Why?
Shitless.
What? I was perfectly fair to all apart from the bear, and I think that's reasonable, isn't it? I mean, the bear has to take the chin.
Yeah,
He's got
I
big
thought
shoulders.
it was fair enough, especially that bonus. Jonathan Shorland says, good evening, Gorillas. My New Zealand-born wife says that this competition is over. There's nothing more to see.
Funny that.
I suspect I might agree at the end of this match, but let's hope not. And Mog says, Salt rubbing himself into wounds is a very evocative and perhaps even erotic image.
Yeah, do you want Phil Sue?
Takes all sorts.
Oh, now Sam Curran is into the attack, and immediately he has Virat poking outside the off stump and beaten by that one. I shall jingle up the new batsman because Ben Stokes has done his duty, which is one over up front, and it's this man now into the attack.
Is he a batter or bowler?
Sam Curran.
What's his distinguishing feature?
Sam Curran.
His dad's from Zimbabwe.
With the cloud cover and with the bounce in Adelaide, I don't think it makes.
Oh, he's edged it! Oh, it's just short of first slip.
He's dropped it. I don't think it was short of.
Do you think
I think he just dropped it.
is that Moeen Ali?
I think it was
I think
short.
it just went out of his hand.
Oh, if that's Moeen Ali is going to be in big
Moeen
trouble.
Ali.
I thought it was
Let's have a look. I thought it was short. Oh, it is short.
Okay.
It is short. Yeah, we'll let
it
it
is
go.
short. Sorry, I was being unfair
unfair
to Moeen Ali.
to
Although
poor
I'm never
Moeen.
unfair to Moeen Ali. I just think he's crap.
Oh, well, that's fair enough. I mean, we're finding out who you think's crap. KL Rahul, Moeen Ali. We're still compiling an 11 of Anindo's most crap cricketers. Pushed into the offside. They'll take an easy single this time to the left of the man at cover. India move to 11 for 1. What a blow that would have been if they could have got Virat Kohli early.
Yeah, and as he got that edge, I was just saying, and I stopped because the ball was coming in. On this pitch, under cloud cover,
Yep.
why on earth would you be trying to softly play the ball. I mean, it just makes no sense. I mean, if you're going to go for it, go for it. Because the way Rahul got out over with Virat just edge, it was the same.
In comes Curran, bowls to Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma's onto the back foot, forces into the covers, straight to the man there. Who is that?
If you're not behind the ball, it just doesn't make any sense to hang your back out on the bat out on this pitch in these conditions.
Yep. You've got very.
I might squeeze in a few tweets, and we've got quite a few banking up, as it were.
Well, hang on. Do it. He's just turned to do at the top of his run. I know you're a few seconds behind us, so you won't know that. In comes Curran, bowls to Rohit. Rohit defends on the back foot again, and there is no run. Squeeze it in, Messi.
Leah says, morning everyone, I'm also joining you from something that could be described as a bed cave. And Imagine says, excited to hear the oracles of optimism versus the pungence of pessimism.
I think you may be referring to me for some unknown reason.
And Nestler says, morning from Covidville.
Oh, poor old
soon.
Nestlers. Oh, come on, come back soon, but not before you've got rid of that horrible disease. Now a pull shot played by Rohit. Sam Curran gets a little bit excited about that. He's appealing for LBW because it hit him on the pad. Probably a bit too high. And
pitched outside leg too.
And possibly pitched outside leg. However, Sam Curran, for all his faults in regards to appealing, has only gone for one run from his first over, which is very good news indeed. India are, if you're an England fan, India are 11 for 1 from 3. It was a little cutter, lovely little cutter. Oh, I can hear. I've just heard the bell going. I wonder if someone's brought coffee, because I didn't manage to get my coffee. The traffic was so bad this morning, I couldn't have my frothy coffee. Anyway, Messi, sorry, more tweets.
We weep. Farang says, greetings to all from an electricity-free sauna in Mirpur. Ravi Nair says, hi guys, not looking forward to this game, we're doomed. Angelic Scooter says, evening, Melbourne on Sunday and to a less extent Monday, looking a shade less grim, but grim nonetheless. So this match may matter not a jot. And Omri Nuova says, morning wonderful GC, I want to be positive but nervous, very nervous. Oh well, we have the worthwhile ODIs against Australia to look forward to. Oh yeah,
they're so exciting.
We're out there.
Wokes into Virat, who goes to the big drive over the top of extra cover. It's not just big, it's massive. Whoa. It's huge. It's gone all the way. It's gone as far as this. Now look, who rattled his cage? Who's been giving him lots of stick for not being very good for a long while, and now suddenly he's brilliant again?
I think it's more the fact that he's angry that Wood isn't there to be hit.
That could be it. So he's taking it out. He's going to take it out on Chris Woke. He's got a slip and a gully, a fine gully. Bowls him a shorter ball into the ribs, which he turns nicely behind square. They're probably going to get 2. No, just the 1. They end up being satisfied with that. Virat Kohli moves on to 9 from 7. You can have a look at that again. There's a lovely pick-up and a lovely pose at the end of it as he put it away over extra cover. That said, as we said, I mean, okay, it's straightish, but it's also to the squarish boundary, so it's possibly not the biggest hit you would have to make on this ground. I mean, dead straight is a big hit at the Adelaide Oval. Yeah. Really big hit. Wokes then into Rohit
I'd rather
Sharma.
You didn't try that.
Bowls pushes into a very wide open leg side. There's only Chris Jordan to move round towards mid wicket from mid on. They take a single. India move to 19 for 1, just aware that those first 3 overs probably weren't good enough, so trying to get a bit of a move on.
Josie Oak says, morning, we're doomed, destined for Pakistan versus India, what the BCCI paid for.
Still, it'll be a good game though, won't it? Wokes in again, defended by Kohli. Good length deliveries, maybe slightly back of a length, but brought him forward. Plenty of bounce there, and he just plays it into the onside. There is no run. Virat has 9 from 8. Rohit 5 from 9. Now, I meant to look up Rohit's exact record in this series, but I didn't manage to do it. Have time to do it in the end last night. What's his highest score? And Indo, do you know offhand what his highest score has been in this tournament so far?
Yeah, 50 something.
He did get a 50. Oh, he got 150.
Yeah, he got 150.
Wokes in again, full down the leg side. He tries to swipe it on its way, but it's certainly going to be a wide, I would imagine.
I think
Or did he
that
get...
was against Netherlands.
Oh, right, okay. So that's not saying everything. That said, Netherlands beat South Africa, and that's why Pakistan
This is true.
partly are in the final. I really
That's
thought...
why Pakistan was in the semi-finals.
the semi-finals, and now, yeah, and then of course they have
I'm
to
being
actually...
fair to everyone today.
You are. What's the matter with you?
Why leave Pakistan out of it?
Exactly. But I just this is an Anindo I don't know. Wokes into Verat again, who clips the ball away from in front of his pad. Square on the onside, another easy single. 21 for 1.
Ravinair says the things you expect to hear on Gorilla Creep number 325. Rohit is a big fan of shots. Hendo reveals insight into the Indian after parties.
To be fair, that was Anindo did mention that he was a big fan of shots, and we agreed that he's a big fan of shots, and long may that continue, that he enjoy shot making. Now he tries to pull that, and he may have just toe-ended that. He would have been in all sorts of trouble had he not got back on that, because he was trying to sweep that extraordinary shot that didn't come off. It was a shot. He tried to play a shot, but it didn't come off. Messi, more tweets.
Mog, speaking of Who's That Weirdo, says the entertainment was high, the knowledge ever so slightly less.
Yes, that's true.
And I can just say how delighted I was that the Who's That Weirdo theme recorded some 13 years ago is Who's That Weirdo. Angelic Scooter says the far better question is why would anyone would need to eat at a stadium. Watching a sport doesn't even last 2 hours in football. How much longer will KL get a chance to bat for India, says Mayank? He'll come back. And Jay says, Sweary Anindo is the best Anindo.
The best Anindo you can get for your money. This is tucked away.
It's value for money, for sure.
Oh, maybe not for any money. Maybe you have to pay for him. It's going to get another
Exactly,
single.
it's infinite value.
Another single for
Whatever
Rohit.
is infinite value.
Sorry, another single for Virat. He goes on to 11 from 10. And India are 22 for 1. Rohit. If Rohit gets going, Ing could be in trouble. If Virat gets going, they could be in trouble. And if Suryakumar Yadav gets going and Hardik Pandya get going, they could be in even more trouble. Curran in full and whipped away in the air over the top of mid-wicket. That's going to go all the way to the cow corner boundary for one of these. And just in case you hadn't heard it, how about a bit of this?
Craig Matthews. No, I'm not. Who's that weirdo? Daniel Sidhu. Neil Mackenzie. Who's that weirdo? Dwayne Leverock. Shane Freed. Who's that weirdo? Chris Harris. Kevin O'Brien. Who's that weirdo?
That's the name of our new podcast, which is available to all of you, every single one of you. You don't even have to pay us a cent. But it'd be nice if you did and became a patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket. Curran bowls and he comes down the wicket and crunches that through the onside. Just for a moment I thought it might have been a catchable height for the man at mid-wicket, but it wasn't. It's run away.
He threw his considerable body weight on it.
He did. He's played another of those shots, would you believe? Rohit, I like shots Sharma. I think that's what we should call him from now on. Rohit, I like shots Sharma.
I think it was a race between whether he would go flying through the air or the ball, which would get to the
He
boundary
threw
fast.
himself off his feet, actually. Yes, you're absolutely right. Curran in again, bowls, and he crunches that. Oh, great effort at backward point, which doesn't come to fruition in the sense that it's not caught, but it is deflected to the man at deep cover. Harry Brook was the man making the effort. He's probably saved 3 runs. He may not have taken the wicket, but he's saved 3 runs there, I think. Rohit is now in the mood to play all his shots. Oh, one-handed effort.
That would have been an amazing catch.
The reactions
He
needed for
almost got
that. That's tremendous. But it definitely saved 3 runs.
That would have been the catch of the tournament if he'd got that.
Catch of the tourney, no doubt. We've got 2 more balls and then we'll have a change. I'm not sure who's on next. Andy should be. Forthy and Jason. I should be letting these people in. Hits him on the pad, Curran.
Bear is going to be Jason.
Oh, his bear's going to be Jason. An appeal from Curran. I don't think that was out. I think that's pitched outside leg. DRS timer is going down, and it is not going to be.
Are we on the 5-over switch today or the 7-over?
We're on the 5-over switch. We're on the 5-over switch.
Okay.
We've got Andy, the bear, and I've got to let Forthy in. Where is he? Is he already there? Oh, he's there. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to let him in then. No, he's all right. Okay, that's the end of the over. India have got plenty for 1. And who's taking a ball by ball? Andy, I believe. I'll let him get into position. Oh, you want to come over here? Right, okay. Oh, there will be a moment of silence. Oh, it's 1 more ball to go. Curran bowls, pushed, square. Harry Brook gets in the way of this one. There is no run. End of the 5th over. India are 31 for 1.
See you later.
See you later.
Guys. Just waiting for the Bear and Andy to take their positions.
Morning, Forthy.
There they are.
Morning.
To you. How are you going?
Good.
Fine.
Hendo, you doom monger.
Yeah, he is a bit
31
doomer.
off 5 is not plenty. England should be happy with that.
Exactly.
It's a run a ball. They're going to hit some boundaries.
Yeah. I mean, if we can keep down to 160.
Depends on the track, but they should be happy with chasing anything less than 160, yeah.
That's what they'd like. Oh yeah, I'm Jason. He might.
Oh,
turn
you
up.
are Jason.
I am Jason. He
Yeah.
might turn. In fact, that might be him wandering upstairs now.
Well, traffic was a joke this morning
It is.
because the South Circular is a joke.
Well, the South Circular is always a joke. There's always
Yeah.
fucking roadworks on the South Circular.
I'm Jason. I'm Jason. I'm Jason.
I'm Jason, but Jason has turned up, so Jason will actually appear in his own skin very shortly once he's put his bag down and settled.
Right, we've got to change your bowling. Can you jingle that one up for us, please?
Well, yeah, we'll do.
He is in. It's a sweep. It's out towards deep square. It's going to be 4.
No, we'll give him a 4 first. Now, this is one man I think they might go after.
And a retreat on the 45. 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 And you can turn it both ways. And you can turn it. Oh. And you can turn it both ways. And you can turn it.
Sweeps again, but backward square is there. Fumble, fumble, fumble. But they still managed to prevent the run, I think. So we've already had 2 overs from Curran in the power play. Now Rashid. England, of course, missing Mark Wood, who is a power play option, whereas Jordan not so much.
Yeah. And which Jordan's going to show up? The man who goes for 22 in the last over, or the man who bowls a load of accurate Yorkers? And
Well, he's going to be the death bowler, but I think they're going to miss Mark Wood a bit in this game, and I think perhaps they are already a little bit. They might not have wanted to turn to Rashid in the 6th. Then again, they might.
well, I might have given Stokes another over.
Oh, did Stokes have one? Yeah.
Yeah, Stokes opened the bowling. That's the
Yeah.
normal.
Rashid is in. Looked like a googly punched up to long off. It'll be a single.
What I like about Rashid, actually, as the tournament's gone on, he's actually given it a little bit more air. Still managed to get it up and down at the same pace. But earlier in the tournament, he was, like in the last game, he was giving it proper air. In the games earlier, and what he's done traditionally on slowish pitches is sort of bang it into the pitch and half trackers that could only get hit for 1.
Well, he's been fairly economical. In fact, he got player of the match in the last game.
Yeah.
4 overs for 16. He's not taken many wickets generally in his last year or so. In a little bit to Kohli, he punches it out towards long off. It'll be another easy single coming up to the end of the over. 37 for 1. 1 ball left in the power play.
Only
Chris
one.
Jordan is in for Mark Wood. Phil Salt is obviously in for Dawid Malan. India unchanged. I and a lot of people thought they might have played Chahal, but they haven't. They might live to rue that one.
Googly from Rashid there, wasn't it?
Yep, he's bowled at least a couple in this over. Rohit is back on strike. And this is half a chance, but Rashid is down to his left and can't get there. It's just a single. Good comeback, 4 off the first ball, but only 7 off the over. And I think that's a good power play for England. India are 38 for 1.
Yeah, I think we'd have liked another wicket. That opens the game up, doesn't it? Jason, if you want to come in and replace me when you're ready, that's fine.
Then again, there's an argument
Sure
for
does. I'll
not letting Sky in for as long as possible.
Yeah, that's true. I'll do a couple of tweets. Leah, Virat needs to stop fishing outside of his exclusive economic zone. Otherwise, England will do for him what the Icelandic Coast Guard did to the British fishing fleet. Crypto Rocket, I think this is one for you, Bear. No screaming. Ali, you character, and leaving the stream today, please. And Steve Kellett, Aussie stadium food vendors have perfected a technological miracle whereby a meat pie can have a cold crust and a centre that is hotter than lava.
Yep.
The warm beer they copied from Britain.
McDonald's specifically, I think.
I hope Crypto Rocket is okay. Crypto was rocketing overnight down. Another exchange collapsed. Livingston's going to come into bowl. It's a leg spinner. It's inside the line. Virat. It's going to be a Rohit rather. It's not going to be a wide. Yes, please.
Okay.
Punched into the offside. That'll be a single. Yeah, half a chance for Rashid in that last over. Livingston's in again, and that's a quarter of a chance again as Rohit hits it over the bowler. He jumps up despairingly, but once it beats him, it's 2 straight and it's gone for 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of chance there. That one was just, he had to be
Probably flatter than he would have liked, the batsman. Fairly safe. Cover dives for that one. It bounces off his knee. I think it's Moen, and because of that, it's taken the pace off, and they've got through for 2.
still an average start. I mean, it's all...
Yeah, it's fairly under control. Virat's 18 off 15, Rohit 21 off 20.
Rohit's not really done much in this tournament.
He's not done much for a couple of years, honestly, in T20. Even in the IPL, he hasn't been doing a great deal. It's another captain legacy pick. That one is out to long on. It should be an easy single.
I get the feeling that this is all the calm before the sky storm.
Well, we have built him up a lot. I mean, he has had a great tournament. It'd be just like cricket for him to come out and get like 4 off 3 and then get out. They've also got Hardik and Pant. Don't forget them. That's another good ball from Livingston because, again, the batsman's left it, but it's inside the line. He gets away with over for 8, which is not too bad. It's 46 for 1 off 7.
Angelic Scootus replying to Shubil Lux. Oh no, hope you're feeling better soon. Farong, feck me, the match is in Adelaide. Stupid fixtures had both semis from Sydney. Adelaide, nice little town, just like Dakar. You need to boil your tap water before drinking it. Dirt, dust, silt, surely it can't be unhealthy. Mog. More Dutters Clary of the Coup, not sure what the complete name is there. As an Australian, this almost pains me to say, but go England. Warren, evening all. Evening to you, Warren. Matt Searle, I listened for the stunning insight into the state of the match. This morning I've learnt that if any of the Indian batters get going, England could be in trouble.
That's why we're paid the big bucks. Rashid is going to continue. He tosses that one up. Virat punches it up to long on. That'll be another single.
Yeah, of course, it's a ground that Virat loves. Apparently he averages 75 there.
Oh,
unlike
really?
Jos Buttler, Jos Butler's played here 6 times and never won a match.
Yep, well now Virat's hit the top of the whole World Cup. They're showing that table because it was most runs in the Super 12 before. He's overtaken Max O'Dowd. Outside half of the bat from Rohit. Goes to point. I thought there might have been a run there, but they didn't show much intent.
Yeah, Rohit needs to probably consolidate for maybe 2 overs and then you've got to get going really.
No, he's got to do it now for me. Got to do it now. India have plenty of batting. They want to put up a big score. That's more big bucks analysis. And he does go for that one and he gets a Q end. It goes absolutely nowhere. It falls short of short third man. And a bit of a wild swipe, that one, Jason.
It was. It's definitely a spot the ball candidate as that spun and took the top edge of his ungainly heave, really, for
yeah,
man.
That's where he's been for 18 months or so, Rohit, I think. 22 off 23. Virat's back on strike. That's into the pads, and he tips into the leg side. They're going to have a look for 2. It's not going to be there, I don't think.
No, it's the demon wonder child with his gun arm.
With his underarm throw. Rashid 10 off 10 balls. More of a holding role for him this tournament. It's been, but leg spinners generally haven't. Well, I say that Hasaranga's the top wicket taker, but he had 3 extra games. That one's out of the front of the hand, I think. It's clipped into the leg side. It should be another single out to Stokes. Wangs it in, obviously, because he's Ben Stokes.
Yeah, that was the flat, fizzy googly rather than the floated up. I'm going to turn a lot googly.
But just 4 singles from 5 balls so far in this over. I'm going to look at a very nice cathedral. But Rashid is going to come in to complete the over. It's tossed up again. It's aerial from Virat, but No danger long on his back. Stokes again. End of the over. Good one for England. Just 5 off it. 51 for 1 off at 8.
Mog, channeling his inner Jay Grover here. Now that WTW has made the airwaves, is there a chance the Pakistan domestic team or business game will get up too? That jingle is mint as fuck. Gloomy aspect, your website is playing yesterday's game, is it?
Oh, okay. Well, we'll attend to that as soon as
Jay
we can.
Grover, hooray! Fourthie and stylish. We'll check on that. Oh, this one's for me. Hooray from Jay, who I just mentioned. Fourth in stylishly understated autumnal hues. Yes, thank you for spotting that, Jay. Sadly, after Andy's brief yet glorious dalliance with pink, he has regressed to monochrome.
Yeah,
And,
it wasn't super clean.
By the way, my
today.
T-shirt, Jay. And for Jay, my T-shirt is an early Factory Records poster T-shirt. So, if you're taking notes, I'll hand back to the cricket.
Right, the man who's come back into the team today, off the bench, he's going to bowl.
Chris Jordan's back will make him cry. More England caps will soon draw nigh. Or if they don't, then it will seem he'll wish he'd joined the Windies team.
Here he comes over the wicket. It's short and it's shovelled around to deep backward square by Virat. That'll just be a single out to Hales.
Yeah, a lot's going to depend on how he bowls today. I mean, he's got a reputation of being a good T20 bowler, but this is probably the first time he's played in the tournament.
Definitely, yeah. England have been weird in this tournament. Their bowling's been a lot better than their batting, which is not true to form at all. The sudden emergence of Sam Curran as a death bowler, has given them a few more options. Yeah. Jordan into Rohit. It's slightly slower. Rohit claps it over extra cover. 1 bounce for 4. 2 full.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
Well, we cleared up the mystery. Messenger says the website stream is live, but the title is from yesterday's game.
Okay. There's a million things. Bear took me through it the other day. There are a million things to change, and labels and titles and edit fields.
Backdrops, the whole 9 yards.
Yep. So Jordan now.
We do our best. We do our best.
That's well bowled. It's a length ball. He gets a paw on it as Rohit plays it back to him and prevents the run.
Given the fielder that Jordan is, that's never getting past him.
No, it's a bit easier to get it past Adil Rashid, with respect. And Rohit, despite playing a few shots, he's still 27 off 26. One of these guys has to start swinging for the boundary, and I don't think it's going to be Virat. So I think Rohit should try to take responsibility here.
Virat's the guy that they probably want to go deep in competition.
Well, Virat wants to go deep. And there's a chance for Jordan. I think he's taken it. Yes, it's a great catch, is it? No. Oh, no one's celebrating. I thought he caught that, but it was just me. Rohit battered it. He followed him a little bit to the leg side. He punched it back to the bowler. We'll see what happens from this angle. Bounced in front of him. Picked it up clean, but it just bounced in front of Chris Jordan. As you say, Jason, such a good fielder, off his own bowling or wherever.
Yeah, it was actually a great piece of fielding in the end.
Just short of him. It's not a dot ball, though.
No, it's a knuckle ball for him, so it's just a bit slower.
That's up. It's not going to be far enough now. Is someone underneath it? Stokes is coming in, takes the catch. Curran with the catch. Big cheers from the green room. Not sure you should be that cheering, getting Rohit out and getting Sky in, but it's a wicket, I suppose.
And I suppose this is the only one that has to be played.
The crowd says you're out.
In honour of the green room
Yep.
growl from the bear.
Okay, well, honestly, I think that works for India. I've got to be honest with you. Rohit wasn't really going anywhere. He had to do something. They can now get Yadav, Pant and Hardik in. They'll try to bat around. They'll be swinging for the ropes and batting around Kohli. But nonetheless, I think it's a decent first 9 for England.
Yeah, that's kind of going to the pre-laid destined plan for this.
It is really. You could have planned it out like this. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't see the wicket. I didn't see how Rahul got out. Was he Did he play a big shot, or was he actually a good ball?
No, the ball got big on him. Wokes just pitched it a touch shorter, and the ball got way up on him, and he just got a little nibble of a top edge through to Butler.
Right, here he is, the man of the hour.
Suryakumar. Surya. Now I know the others might have let you down. It's not too late to play Surya now. Suryakumar Yadav.
And for once, the ICC T20I rankings are in line with common sense. Yadav is the best T20 batsman around right now. He clips that one out to deep square. Hales is going to field and keep it to 1. That's well done. 57 for 2 off 9. Perfect entry point for Surya, but India still only a smidge over a run a ball.
Crypto Rocket. Should change my name to Crypto Plummeteer.
Yeah, maybe.
Should Crypto Rocket.
Just for now.
Oxymoronica, good day, namaste, morning. I fear England's bowling is not as strong as India's, but they will be happy to have won the toss and chase. Should go down to a nail-biting finish. Shame it's a bit early for beer. Mayank, it's a dodgy and finicky stream, but works on the phone and is my go-to if you're interested. And he has crickhd.com he has posted a link to. And Angelic Scooters, Pomim Bangwa, suggesting England might want to break this partnership before it becomes more threatening. It's always a good reminder that the folks paid to do this rely on mundane cliches too.
Two? What are you suggesting?
Are you saying we're inside
what are you
mainstream
saying?
cricket?
Right, Rashid is going to continue to, let's call him Sky, that's easier. I know Tony doesn't like it, but that one is off the outside edge, well bowled by Rashid, goes out to backward point.
Yes. Just that length where you can't take liberties with it, you have to play with a certain modicum of caution.
Oh, especially when you're just in. And it's been good from Rashid so far. 4 off the first ball, but he's come back well after that.
But you do kind of get the feeling to some extent that people are worried about Rashid and are playing him out a little bit.
No, I think he's just bowling well. I just don't think he's giving them too much to hit. Famous last words, maybe. Let's see what happens to this ball. Slips in. Ooh, with a sweep. The slip and keeper were hoping that was going to york the batsman, but he did get the toe of the bat on it, out to square leg for a single. Well bowled all the same.
I think that would have hit him just outside off stump anyway. He got a good stride in.
Possibly. Moeen still in at slip for Kohli. That's quite interesting. It's quite aggressive. Rashid is in. Tosses it up. Oh, it's a little bunt. It was the easiest catch in the world if the man was on the edge of the circle, but of course he wasn't, and in fact he's taken enough pace off it that they'll get back for 2.
Just a dink, that, wasn't it?
Yep, just a little sandwich. Sandwich. 60 for 2 in the 10th. And I think England will be slightly happier here, but India will feel they've got a platform to kick on from. That one is just pushed out to cover, and there'll be no run.
Well,
Who's 88? That's Brook, isn't it?
Yep. That's negated the 2 from the previous ball.
Yep, a little bit. Still got the slip in. Rashid, 15 off 16 balls, going well. Tosses that one very full, and Kohli will feel he's missed out, because that really should have gone over extra cover, but he was set to play it into the leg side, and then it was maybe fuller than he thought, and he just chunked it up to long on. Going to have a change at the end of the over. Bear's going to come in on commentary. I'm going to stay summarising, and Messi Jez will be back on Twitter. But fourthly, if you can catch us up on Twitter after this ball.
Oh, okay, sure.
As Rashid comes in to complete the over. Flatter. Again, a little bit of turn, maybe even just a little bit of drift, and it's outside half of the bat, out to deep point. It's another decent over. 62 for 2 off 10. We're going to have a drinks break, and let's catch up on social media.
Jay Grover, I don't have copyright on the word mint, you know, or fuck for that matter. Noted, Jay, thank you. Crypto Rocket, or Plummeteer, not sure you will do this, but would love a shout out. Hi to Mum, Bernie, Alan, Shaz and Steve in Manchester with a big old emoji heart. Our pleasure, Crypto Rocket.
I hope they're all listening.
Mog, yeah, I hope they are, yes. And I'll give a little shout out if either my friends Al or my son Jamie are listening, as they said they would, but they may be having their dinner. Mog, early cooing over Jordan. Mayank, Suryakumar and Kohli together. 200 could easily be on the cards if they play smart, but the operative word in that sentence was if, of course, Mayak, who adds
140 off 10, bit of a stretch.
A bit of a stretch, yes, it's a jolly big if, that one. Mayank, 13 and over from 9 to 20 gets India to 200, he replies.
Yes, it does,
yes,
but
it does,
get
but that's
13
a lot.
and over, yeah.
Okay, I think that brings us up to date, and I'll hand you over to Messi.
Thanks, Swarthy.
Well, I'm tense. It's tense. And I would say that Hendo is a fucking cheating bastard when it comes to who's that weird. He gave 8 points just because Messi guessed something vaguely right.
So talk us through this conceit.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it was 8 points when you worked out at the end. But
yeah, well, Hendo was also not. I don't think it was actually noting down the scores particularly well. But there you go. Messi guessed that someone was alive and they were a politician, and that was it. And he gave him extra fucking 6 bonus points or whatever it was. It was outrageous.
He's bitter. Not that. Yeah, I still haven't got my prize. But I have retweeted the link to the podcast or the quizcast of Who's That Weirdo, which you're all very welcome to enjoy, hopefully, and prove yourselves a lot smarter than we were.
And if it does become really popular, we might even do it in video format.
Whoa. Yeah, that's going to be an attraction.
Just for you YouTube lovers out there.
So how does it work?
Basically, dead or alive cricketers, or Who's That Weirdo, which can be a random. It's kind of similar to the birthday game that we used to play.
You're not really helping me out here.
Well, so Hendo has a list of names, and they can be an alive cricketer, a dead cricketer, or they could be some random, like a politician or or something or other.
Is it 20 questions?
There was only, I think there were 12, weren't there?
But it's yes or no questions.
Yeah. Well, basically, you have to, and then you add a bit of birthday game intrigue into it. You get extra points if you can guess their age.
Okay.
And
then you have Tony Osmond.
Giving you the info.
Yeah, and it was great fun.
It's good fun.
And Hendo was totally irresponsible as quizmaster, but that was good.
Absolutely, and totally. Fancy points. Who's this? Rizwan yesterday. Darryl Mitchell got the most in a losing side. What a shame. It's a poor game by New Zealand yesterday, it has to be said. Their bowling really didn't come off, and they didn't score enough runs.
As I said to you in the green room, we were talking about batting first in semi-finals, and I did come up with the stats, which is after this ball.
Stokes is back into the attack, went for 6 in his first over. He's bowling to Suryakumar, who nearly launches himself off his feet as he tries to drive that through the offside. Maybe he's really pumped up for this. Through to keeping his name on. It's 3 or 5, very un-Suryakumar like. I'm sure
it's only 5 balls. But yeah, this is the 8th T20 World Cup, so we've had 21 finals and semi-finals, plus 1 yesterday. And 14 out of 22 been won by the team batting second.
So 2 to 1, basically.
Almost.
Roughly.
Yeah, it's a small sample size, but it's there.
That's enough. 21 games is enough, really. Down a leg side, not a great ball. Can't bowl that really, Suryakumar. Gets away with it, though. It's a single down at Hales at long leg.
And I understand the scoreboard pressure argument, but the counter thing is, and this is what I feel happened yesterday, when you're batting first and you lose a couple of wickets, you start to think about staying in the game rather than winning it.
Yes. There's that.
And New Zealand posted 150 for 4 yesterday, and the for 4 is really what they should look at.
Yeah.
Didn't use their resources.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but they don't bat that deep either, do they?
Well, that's also a problem, and that's something they need to fix. Yeah.
Well, do India bat that deep? They don't really either, do they?
Have they still got Axar at 7? You could say England certainly bat a lot deeper.
Yeah. Stokes in. Down the track comes Kohli. Works it again down to Alex Howes at deep backward square leg, and there'll be another single. I mean, they're not really taking. I mean, there's been about 3 4s and a 6.
Still a run of ball in the 11th.
Still a run of ball in
exactly.
You know. If you're looking at 160, they got to get.
I can't see too many demons in the pitch.
No, I can't either. And really short square boundaries. 10 and over for the last 10 is, totally doable for this India side.
It is, but that only gets them to 160.
Yeah. And England will look to go hard in the power play, one presumes. Stokes is in. Slower ball, good ball. Can only be played up to mid-off by Suryakumar. There's no run.
More importantly, are you on the run out?
Not yet. But it's not a bad shout if I don't share my phone on me.
See what the odds are, yeah.
I'll have to log in here, which I can do. That's easily done. Bet 365.
Other betting websites are available.
They are available. Rishabh, I mean, he's obviously new to the side, so much like Phil Salt, he's only had one game, didn't do particularly well, was caught. Good catch down at deep mid wicket yesterday. Pulled, it's aerial, it's probably got the distance, it's a short boundary back there, it has indeed. I wouldn't bowl short to him.
No.
But he has, and therefore it's gone for one of these. Let's have a look. The thing is, it's not going to be caught, but dismissal method, 6-way, run out, it's only 12 to 1. It's worth a shot though. What the hell?
They're on to you.
Yeah, well,
no more 25. No more 25 to 1.
No, well, it depends where it is in the game. I think if you get it in the first sort of 4 or 5 overs, the longer the odds, the longer the game goes on. They don't offer it after. 15
the thing is,
overs.
I looked at these stats once, and Kohli is a quick runner, but he's also an aggressive runner. He does push the margins.
Yeah, he does. That's driven hard
in the air
by Suryakumar. It was aerial through the covers, but it's made itself to the boundary. That's 4 runs. Catches himself up.
That's enough from Stokes today. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's not one more
definitely.
for me. I must have 2 or 3. I need 4.
12 to 1. 65 quid if there's a run out. Come on, the run out.
So, Crypto Rocketeer says, much appreciated for the shout out, guys. Our pleasure. Mog says, wasn't Tony there for quiz score probity bear? Tony was totally in the pocket of the quizmaster.
Yeah, exactly. Terrible. Yeah. So that over's gone for 12.
Yeah.
Not a great over. Good over for India. First really quite explosive one, apart from about the third where they got a couple of 4s then.
Didn't see the need to bowl Stokes another over.
No, well, I think they might be worried because they haven't got Wood, have they? They're trying to find that, even though they got Jordan. Rashid is going to bowl out, number 17 off his 3. He's bowled into Virat, who gets a leading edge out through the covers. They may well get back for 2, but they've decided not to as it's chased down by Moeen Ali. This might be the chance to get Surya. He likes pace on, and that's one thing they should do, is just bowl pace off to him because he does like the pace on. And he can certainly swivel it from, as we saw against, who was it?
They might give Livingston another try, yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't bowl Moeen particularly.
No, I wouldn't bowl Moeen.
Not to the 2 right-handers.
I might give him a go to Rishabh Pant though when he comes in.
There's an interesting stat for you, Andy, that Anindo's come up with. This is the 12th T20I at Adelaide Oval. Never has the team winning the toss won the match.
That's weird.
Oh dear.
Isn't it?
Down the track, Suryakumar's gone high into
Should
the
be
air.
out.
It's going to be out. It's going to be out. Yes. The danger man has gone. Al Rashid has only got 2 wickets in this tournament. 1 in the last game, 1 in this game, and he's got the all-important Suryakumar. 14 off 10. Down the track, trying to smash it over the top. It turned, caught the outside edge, was caught in the deep. Didn't see who caught it. Presumably it was Harry Brook or someone like that, and they're out in the deep, aren't they? Let's have a look.
He's trying to go over extra cover, and it's just turned on him. I think it's Salt,
It's
isn't
Phil
it?
Salt out there.
Yep.
Easy catch. And, you know what? This is the perfect one for that one. Top edge. For fuck's sake. Oh, no, he's out. Excellent. Top edge. For fuck's sake. Oh, no, he's out. Excellent. Top edge. For fuck's sake. Oh, no, he's out. Excellent.
Well, that's how it can happen. It's T20. You're not going to score 50 off 25 every week,
No.
every game.
Yeah, you're certainly not.
And Rashid's bowled well, and he's deserved that. And now that really does open it up. What's Virat going to do? Is he just going to keep ticking along for 3 or 4 overs?
I imagine
As you
so.
say, Rishabh Pant's only had 1 game. Hardik hasn't had a lot of runs. And then you enter Aksar and Ashwin. And
Yeah.
India, again, with that slow first 10 overs. Jack was talking yesterday. We'll carry on.
First ball faced by Hardik. Hardik's come in actually as ahead of.
Yeah, that is interesting.
That is interesting. Ahead of Rishabh Pant. We'll give him a jingle.
And in breaking news, Hardik Pandya.
Second ball was googly, I think. And once again, he just props forward and defends. And at some point, someone's got to go for India.
Well, they have. Well, Jack, as I say, Jack was talking yesterday about India having several points of failure, and probably the biggest one is if Suryakumar doesn't get any runs, then you can't. You're not catching up on the slow start so quickly. You're into batsmen who haven't scored that many runs.
Indeed. I mean, that's why I was given a lot of air there by Rashid.
He's bowled well.
Yeah, he has bowled well. I think he's bowled better when he's given it air, as I was saying when I was on briefly for Jason. Driven out to extra cover and there's no run. I thought earlier in the tournament he was bowling it just too short. He was bowling too flat, and a lot of it was sitting up, and he was being able to be hammered into the leg side.
Yeah, I think a few bowlers have realised this. Santner started bowling slower.
Yeah, he certainly did. I mean, he used to, and yeah, I mean, normally with him it's just darts, isn't it? The pads, isn't it? But he was giving it to him. He got stumping against somebody. Kohli backs off, cuts that last ball out to the boundary. With only 3 runs off the over and a wicket. Excellent bowling from Anil Rashid. 4 overs, 1 for 20. He is bowled out. There's only 8 overs left though, and India are 77 for 3.
What's the run line on here?
The run line is that's the next one I bet on really. 20 overs, 156.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
It does. No,
England are into $1.50 at the moment. Leah says ICC officials look at the state of the game and probably feel like crypto investors right now.
It's all crashing around their ears.
Tony Bishop tweets in to claim quite falsely that he was there for score probity on the quiz, which clearly he wasn't. And Mayank says Melbourne forecast for the weekend is getting worse and worse by the day. They're predicting heavy rain, flooding on Sunday and thunderstorms Monday. It's true that's what they're forecasting, but we've managed to avoid a whole lot of dire forecasts so far, so let's keep our fingers crossed.
Filthy first ball as Livingston comes in to bowl a second over and bangs it into the pitch. Kohli can only cut it straight out to the man on the boundary though. It'll only be a single. Someone's got to try and take some chances and hit it over the top here.
Well, maybe Livingston's the one they'll go after, because I don't think he's quite got the control to toss it up like Rashid does. So he might bowl a few balls that sit up.
Well, he's tossed that one up. Oh, and he's beaten Hardik's eyes lit up. Goes to smash it down the ground. That thick outside edge that drops just short of the man, short third man inside the circle. Good catch by Phil Silk. That'll feel like he's in the game. Tosses that one up again. It's driven! Oh, and it just drops short of Sammy Curran, I think. Or is that?
Might be Brook.
Might be Brook.
Yeah, no, he's proven me wrong. He's tossed a couple up Livingston and got the edge both times.
Well, you know, he's in the test squad, and I reckon it's the second bowler, weirdly. And even though he does fuck all in red ball cricket, he's tossed that one up again, and it's just knocked into the offside.
I would say he must be. He must be in there for bowling.
He's one of the options, yeah, he has to be, because he's going to need 2 spinners out there. Gets a single out to deep cover. Only 2 off the over so far.
They got Root as well, remember?
They got Root. Well, he'll be heavily used, you'd imagine. And Root's not got much of a workload these days. I don't even know. I mean, presumably, is he out there?
He's on the golf course with Peterson and Piers Morgan most of the time.
Possibly. That's chipped up to long on. There's one. I haven't seen the squad because there is the 3 pointless ODIs that are coming up after this series.
That was so funny when that picture of Root with KP, Morgan, and someone else terrible, while Yorkshire were playing. Oh, it boiled the piss of county fans.
Yeah. Smashed into the offside, but straight to the fielder. Moeen Ali at cover. Hits it hard, does Hardik, funnily enough.
Oh, it was Michael Vaughan, of course it was Michael Vaughan. Livingston's just gone for 3 off that over. Again, he did toss it up. He proved me wrong. He tossed it up. Very good. And India are just going nowhere here.
They are going nowhere.
Absolutely. Look, I've got an important question for you from YouTube. Massimiano Allegri says, morning Bear and lads. Question for the Bear. What's the earliest time you've ever had a beer watching cricket? Somebody said, Sudahu says last Ashes around 3 a.m.
Well, yeah, the thing was I was up all night, so it
becomes a bit of a Gremlins thing. When is after midnight? Well, it's always after midnight.
When you start at midnight.
When is early? Yes.
Because basically then I'd be getting up so I'd sleep when I got home, so I'd be getting up at 4 in the afternoon. So by the time I came in here, it was like the equivalent of 5 in the afternoon. So it was drink clock all the way through the night. I have once in a while. In the old sofa days when my liver was much younger and much purer, got up and started drinking as soon as we turned up at 6 in the morning. That has been done.
Why is your liver not so
letting
good?
his Scotsness come through? He says Livingston has slowly become England's most punchable face.
Well, possibly. Wokes is back into the attack. He's bowled 2 so far. They'll just get a single as it's knocked out deep squared egg. Possibly a 2 there, really, if they'd have run hard. They look a little bit discombobulated, India. They don't know whether to stick or twist here.
Hardik, 2 off 7.
Yeah. And we've seen him take apart England as well. And
I tell you what England have done is bowl straight. And I think it makes a huge difference on this.
Well, my big fear for this is that if Arshdeep and Booby get it right and get it swinging early, they're fucking hard to get away. But if we got a really low total to sit then hopefully we don't chase too hard and get out. But they've got a lot of early wickets, those 2, and they are dangerous. That is clipped into the leg side by Hardik and get himself a single. The only game they didn't get away with it was South Africa game.
Yeah.
They got a bit tanked at the start, didn't they?
Yeah, South Africa went after them.
Yeah.
It wasn't swinging much that day, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, just every over that ticks by 5 or 6 runs is just, you know, 4 runs off India's total.
Indeed.
England should
82 for 3, and we're in the 14th.
I mean, you can expect some shots from here on in, but they'll do well to get to 160.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Chopped by Cody. Just beats the man at back square. It was a bit lucky, but good placement. Wide enough for the man at short third man to get it down to the boundary, and it'll be 4 runs. In fact, it was off the toe end.
That's what I thought, yeah. Kept a little bit low.
Yeah. A valuable 4 runs for India. Haven't had that big over India, have they? They've had a couple of 12s, and that's about it.
Have they even had that? They're 12 off Stokes.
They're 12 off Stokes. I think they got 12 off an early over in the power play. Got 2 4s in a row, didn't they? Maybe 10 off that over.
Yeah.
But everything else, there's hardly been any boundaries.
Yeah, they've had 2 10s and a 12. That's it.
Considering
the highest after that is 8.
Driven up to long off by Kohli for yet another single. He's 37 or 31.
Well, Virat is the king of non-boundary strike rate. His non-boundary strike rate is always way above everybody else's, but it's a little bit more valuable in Australia with the bigger boundaries. But India really needs some boundary intent here.
Yeah, and really it's down to Hardik and Pant to do it, you'd have thought.
Mostly, because Kohli's going to Kohli. I mean, he might get quite a few of the last 3 or 4 overs, but he's not going to go long before then.
No.
I mean, India should really be thinking they've got 7 wickets in hand, 6 overs left.
Another 80 runs.
Even if you have a bit of a tail, you've got to be getting after it.
Yeah, you need another 80, don't you? He's got to 167. That's short and pulled down leg side and appeal from behind. I think that's one of those appeals. It is indeed, because it's given. It's one of these.
Butler looks perplexed, but it was clearly a wide.
Well, if you're that perplexed, review it.
You can't review a wide.
Well, no, because obviously he thought he touched it, and therefore it was a potential catch. That's the way it appealed, and if you think that would stop the wide, and you would have the wicket. But it was nowhere near bat, glove, or anything.
No.
They obviously heard a noise. Maybe it was one of those clicks in the handles. Wokes in again, slower into the pitch. And just worked out.
You don't think that was just trying to con the umpire that it flipped his sleeve or something?
Well, exactly. Yeah, it is. But my point being that obviously...
Well, that doesn't mean they heard anything then.
Well, okay, all right, they might not have heard anything. But the fact that Wokes went up, maybe for the same reasons that Butler went up. I imagine it's 90% India fans in the stadium, and the Barmy Army who are probably pissed out of their heads by now.
Yep, that'll be right, because the queues will be really short for the beer. Mogg says, be not concerned about Melbourne weather until the actual day. What I understand, it has a reputation for variability.
Yeah, that's
and he also
true.
says, he crawls to the bishop and says, I believe you over those whiny poltroons.
I wouldn't believe anything the bishop says. Worked into the leg side.
Generally good advice.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was over previously.
No, that's over now. You can carry on.
Josie says, I bet when the bear goes for a 6 a.m. flight, he has beer or 2 before getting on the plane.
Well, most people do, I think.
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah, not anymore. Used to, yeah. The first thing you did at the airport was go to the bar.
Yeah, cheap beer,
Get a beer.
And Mogg says, I think Curran has a more punchable start than Livingston.
Well, Curran looks like the safest England player to punch, because he looks like the weakest. In truth, he'd probably spark me out.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. Chris Acquire says, still no TV feeds, and I watching Australia versus South Africa rugby after a penalty shootout drama in LA. Thank heavens for guerrilla cricket.
That's okay. Full toss. Poor ball by Livingston.
Yeah, terrible. Virat should be looking to put that in the stand.
Indeed. Instead, he just chips it out to deep mid-wicket for a single.
Yeah.
Get away with it. King Cody he's a bit like a knave today. That's smashed down the ground. Now that's a good shot. Bit too full from Livingston. Hardik sets himself and bashes it back down the ground, and it's going to be one of these. It's badly needed. Moves him on to 8 off 10. Just sat there and was entitled to smash that back. It's a good shot. That's what he's good at, Hardik, hitting straight.
Yes, you can hit straight, you can hit flat for 4 or up for 6.
Yeah.
And it gives Livingston a bit more of a problem because he was having some joy just floating it up there to Hardik before. But, you know, Hardik absolutely has to get going here.
He does indeed. 6.63 is the run rate. 95 for 3. We're in a 15th over. Hardik pulls out before Livingston delivers.
Oh.
He's gone for 16. It's 2.2 overs, so it's not too bad.
Good. 16 or
5
14.
off the first 2 balls of this over, though.
I've just seen some very sad news.
Livingston in, driven out to cover. Moen Ali's on the edge of the
Should be a run there, really.
It should be. You should be setting off at this point, shouldn't you? Maybe I should go on a run out again.
Get on. You are on the run out. Oh no, they had the wicket. All right, yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you that Jimmy Carter has just died.
What, the old ex-president?
Yes.
Yeah, he was about
The
96.
best of them all.
96.
Something like that, yeah.
I'm going to guess his age, like in the game. 96?
He was getting on a bit.
He was getting on a bit.
Yeah.
We're going to have a change at the end of this over. Full again. Can't get hold of that
bowled.
one, Hardik. Yeah. Didn't. Got to take a risk, and he has. Floated it up there. Hardik can't get underneath it. Just clubs it up to long on for a single.
It was 98.
98, there you go. Good innings, man.
Yeah.
It's not that sad when someone at 98 dies, really.
No, after
Jimmy
after
Carter.
a full life, yeah.
That's why I thought you said Jimmy Carter.
People would be a lot less sad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit controversial, is our Jimmy Carter. Virat facing up, 39 or 33. Livingston bowls that one flat and can only club it back to him. Hardik falls over on his arse at the bowler's end, trying to get back to his crease.
These are such bonus overs.
They really are bonus overs, isn't it? You've still got Tooth and Sam Curran.
Here comes Hendo to tell you India have got plenty again.
Yeah, exactly. That's driven. That's a good shot, though. Is he going to stop it?
Oh, he's hit a 4 Hendo. We're doomed.
Virat has hit a really nice floor. Really, really well placed. He's driven that out to deep extra cover. Beaten diving Chris Jordan out there. And it is going to be 4 runs. We're going to have a triple change.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Everybody's in the studio.
I'll just do a couple of tweets.
We'll see you in a bit.
Umbre Nuevo says, have India seen the weather forecast and decided that the shared World Cup is not worth it? Adrian Lowe says, guys, I've gone moist. Should I calm down? Definitely. Mayank says, I can assure you that the queue for the beer isn't short with Indian fans. These guys can match Barmy Army beer for beer. Well, they certainly didn't in Perth. They just didn't drink. Mog says, if Gary were here, he would be bemoaning the constant appeals of wicket-keepers trying to cover up wides. And Mog says, Sakata lived long enough to see the red wave sputter. Yes, that was something at least.
That'll cheer him up, won't it? That'll cheer him up.
He was the most decent of all the presidents, he was.
He was decent.
Okay.
Peanuts. I always think of Peanuts when I think of Jimmy
Well, he was also the man that said that if you looked with lust upon a woman, you have already committed adultery.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you not remember saying that?
We're up to date on tweets. There you go.
Thank you so much. Well, what are we here? It's 104-3 is where India are. Just 5 overs left, but you've got Virat and Hardik. A few days after firework night, has the light blue touch paper been lit?
Ooh.
With these two, you just never know.
I should clarify that about Jimmy Carter. I presume he was saying about married men, as opposed just to anyone looking with lust upon a woman. I think lust is still allowed.
Chris Jordan. That's down leg, and I'm afraid that will be a wide. Jason, you were an exasperated sigh there. Yes, I was.
Well, it's better than him being picked up for 6, isn't it? There.
Well, yes, but it's still one more. He's still got one free hit to do it with.
Very true.
Well, not a free hit, but one extra ball. 101 for 3. 38 for 1. England would have been happy enough at the power play stage. 62 for 2. They'll have been almost turning cartwheels of delight after 10. But these two still have the capacity to power India to, well, easily around about 150. England will be straining every sinew to try and stop that happening. Jordan, he's put that down leg. It's been worked off his hip. But it's straight down to Sammy Curran, who's at square leg.
I think
just a single. 102 for 3.
What I've seen so far today is that actually England have bowled well, and I think the changes that Butler has made and when he's made them have been very good as well. But also they've got away with, when they've bowled bad balls, they've got away with quite a lot of them, especially the spinners. And that was another example. That wasn't a great ball, but whips it away, and you think that's going for 4, but it's gone straight to the fielder.
We were definitely observing in the green room that fuller and floatier is the way to go. Drop it short, you're going to get it punished. India not looking happy. Rohit's got a face on him like a slapped arse at the moment, so he's definitely not. Oh, that must be close. Jordan thinks he's got him. LBW. A pistol just shakes his head, says no. Virat survives. Butler looks grumpy. Don't think England will review.
No, I think they are.
They have reviewed. Oh, have they, by Jove?
I thought it might have hit that.
Well, I mean, the length suggested it. The line, to me, I think it could have been. It was one of those that could be missing leg, or it could be hitting. It's a really difficult one to call. Maybe we'll get a better idea.
It does swing quite a lot. It pitches.
It's missing, I think.
I think it's going down leg. It's
clipping at best.
Pitched in line, but
that's a great ball, but it's clipping at best.
Hendo points out as Virat managed to somehow skip himself off his feet. Well, it's hard to tell with Ultra Edge, but I think that's the ball hitting the pad when you see it front on.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, there's a massive gap. Front on. There's a massive gap.
There's no bat involved. I think Virat can relax. Yeah, he's wandering back, sauntering back.
Yeah, a bit of a swagger in that, wasn't there? Like you thought you had me, didn't you? You didn't.
Gonna show you.
Yeah, that was a bit of. There was a bit of a swagger there. Although maybe hasn't actually been given yet. No, that's missing, isn't it? Or is it? Umpire's call.
That's what I thought it was.
England robbed of Indian wicket by Aussie umpire.
Yeah, well, that just sums it up for you. They get knocked out of their competition, and then they send out an umpire to annoy us.
Chris Jordan throws his head back in frustration, exasperation, and anguish.
Bloody Aussies!
And he kind of has a point. He does have a point. Could have gone either way. It hasn't gone England's way. They'll just have to crack on, which is precisely what Chris Jordan is about to do. 1 for 8 for him. He's bowled well so far. Right arm over and in, driven sweetly, driven away through extra cover, and driven all the way for a stylish 4 runs. Ain't that the way things go?
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary,
I was going to say, it could be insult to injury, and it certainly was. I mean, it could have been a 6, but it was 4. It was a lovely shot. Perfect placement, really.
Well, that was classic Kohli. Sumptuously, elegantly dispatched. That 47, by the way, has well and truly taken him past 4,000 runs. First player to get there in T20 internationals. Just waits, dabs this into the onside, strolls, making sure the camera is watching and loving every single move he makes.
He's definitely on one at the moment because he's shouting at himself for missing out on a 2.
He's hugely angry with us. And to emphasise the point, he decided just to walk the 1.
He did. He did.
Well, he stopped, shouted at himself, then walked a bit, then shouted at himself a bit more.
Well, he's on to 48 off his 38. He has batted very well. Hardik 10 from 13. He's found the going a little bit tougher. It is a used pitch, remember. A lot of discussion about this pitch. Used pitch for a semi-final, people said. Can that be right? And I do think it's not really that easy to get away. Jordan, he's bowled short. We said don't do that, Chris. However, he's escaped.
He's going to get 2 though, isn't he?
What should be 2, and it's misfielded as well by Livingston, who slid in, but slid past the ball. But however, it is just the 2.
I think
it's been a more expensive over there, Andy.
That's another thing that you'd have to. We never have enough expert comment from groundsmen. In fact, if there was one thing that would improve commentary around the world, it would be to have a groundsman in the box with you, because when you say used pitch, it's going to be different if it was used yesterday as compared with 3 weeks ago.
I agree with that.
So what exactly those differences would be, we need an expert view on that, really.
I think Ted off the Fast Show would be
the coughing Ted.
No, he's the other guy. He's Bob Fleming. As this one is hauled away into the onside. Will be 1 more to the score. Fairly expensive over from Chris Jordan, but England still feeling they're doing okay. It's 109, 110 I think for 3 after that, and we'll go to Jason.
Angela, excuse us talking about the demise of Jimmy Carter. There's something to be thankful that any of us lived long enough to see the red wave disappear. Mayank says, this also looks like a tough pitch to bat on. I don't think even 150 is easy for England.
No, this is why used pitch, and I really don't think it is that easy.
And Leah says, hat-tricks by Boovy, Hardik and Ash are our last best hope for victory. And yes, I did get the Babylon 5 reference there.
110 for 3,
I didn't.
16 overs. They're going at under 7 and over. And little Sammy Curran is back into the attack.
It's death time. It's death time. Death or glory for England now.
Death time. It is indeed.
So he's bowling what, 17 and 19?
And then you've got Wokes, who's got 1 over left, and you've also got Stokes or Jordan.
Well, Jordan's done okay.
Jordan's
I
got
would have thought Jordan might actually bowl the last 2.
Fairly
Yeah, may
tough
well
boots
do.
to fill. Chris, obviously, Mark Wood pulled up with a dodgy fetlock and wasn't able to play today. Curran left arm over, short, smashed magnificently. I'm not sure, there was that couple of bounces. No, it's gone all the way. Over extra cover, flat and effective, and one of these.
I think that was a genuine smaximum myself.
It
Yeah,
was.
I agree.
I think you're absolutely right by Hardik. He absolutely creamed that away. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous shot.
And remember, of course, if you become a Patreon, you can get this maximum every week. Friday or Saturday it'll be out.
You can. What Sammy Curran got to come back with. Short, pulled again. Pulled away through past mid-wicket.
Oh, well done.
But fielded excellently out there by Alex Hales. Slightly more nimble than we've been used to seeing Alex Hales.
I think this is a really dangerous moment for England.
It
I think
is.
they could go for one. They could go to 170 if these
Well,
two
wickets
stay.
in hand with these two.
Yeah, absolutely.
As I say, that touch paper was there to be lit. He did well, did Alex Hales?
Yeah, well, that is his strength in the fielding, his ground fielding, his catching is
Catching's pretty poor, isn't
something to be
Also
improved,
his-
shall we say.
Well, his speed of getting to the ball had been pretty slow. Has that chap got a lit up turban? Yes, he has. He's got like LED strip lights across his turban, which looks magnificent. Curran in. Full, driven though straight to Moeen Ali on the bounce. Safely fielded. A much needed dot ball. Thank you very much,
I
Jason.
just feel that Hardik Pandya is uncoiling at this very moment.
He's uncoiling.
He's uncoiling.
Like a cobra
He
waiting
really
to
is.
strike.
It's really difficult overs for England, these. Although Andy wouldn't agree with me, he's saying England are doing brilliant, which they are. They are. I mean, in fact, when I said, I'll break off for a moment.
He's delivered the most Yorkers this World Cup out of all the quicker bowlers, has Curran, as that one is slapped past him. Rolls along the ground. 2 fielders converge, but they will still get 2.
Yeah, you got 2 to long off and long on this round.
10 off this over, 2 balls still to come. 120 for 3 on India.
When I said India had got plenty, I was actually saying that because I had the score had gone off the screen. I had no idea what they'd got. I knew it was around 30 or something. Yeah, I still think they can get 160, 170 here. These two go absolutely Burko, and Rishabh Pant to come.
They could indeed.
England got to keep their nerve. They've got to think one of these batsmen out.
You would assume Pant will appear next. Sam Curran from Surrey. And that's a good ball. It is a shorter one and it rises quickly. And Hardik was looking to ramp it and wasn't able to. Virat, who's nothing to do with that shot, is still swearing away under his helmet at the other end. Conscious, I'm sure. I reckon he has an earpiece that tells him, "Camera's on you, Virat, do something."
Or he's got undiagnosed Tourette syndrome.
Oh, it could be that as well. It could be that as well. 120 for 3. Last ball of the 17th over. Sam Curran is bowling it. None for 21. He's had a terrific World Cup so far. And that one is hauled by Hardik Pandya, but straight to Ben Stokes at deep mid-wicket. Just a single. It means that after 17, India progressed to 121 for 3, Jason.
Mog says, careful what you wish for, Hendo, or Nathan fucking Line will appear to drone at you about ground conditions.
Oh, God.
And Messenger says, the groundsman, you say? And sends us a picture of groundskeeper Willie. Mayank says, dreaming of Boovi, Arshdeep and Shami to clean England up inside 10 overs now.
Actually, I think we should become the first broadcaster to get groundsman as a regular commentator.
Oh, I think it'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Brian001 says, looks like England have done well tonight, trying to channel some vibes to India as I enjoy a nice 9 a.m. mild beer at my local Gorilla Bar.
Oh, nice.
It's a very nice picture of a artisan mild beer.
Well, back into the attack will come Chris Jordan. 1 for 16 off his 2 so far for the the man from Sussex. Is he still Sussex these days, Chris Jordan, or is he?
Has he gone back to Surrey again?
He's Surrey's T20 captain.
He's a T20.
Yeah, I thought he's gone back to Surrey.
As
I
of
can only
last
ever
year.
think well, yeah, I lose track. As Surrey just hoovers up literally
Do try
everybody
to
who's
keep up,
halfway
Nigel.
good.
So to speak.
48
Indeed.
for Virat Kohli off 38. Hardik Pandya, though, is going to face Surrey's Chris Jordan. Chain, as ever, jangling around his neck. Short, pulled, high, pulled, handsome, pulled all the way over mid-wicket for 6. Do not bowl short, Chris Jordan. What does he do? Well, he bowls short.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I just want to have another look at this. Was he trying to bowl the slower, shorter one? I'm not sure that he was actually, but that is a genuine ball these days, isn't it? Which puts you off your game a little bit. So I mean, sometimes when those balls are short, it's not just a bad ball; it's deliberately done. It just didn't work.
That was absolutely tattooed over the boundary, though.
Oh, absolutely tattooed.
It was smashed effectively.
He's a big danger. Big danger is Hardik.
He is indeed. 30 for him now off 22. Fuller
and again
flicked, clipped, high. It's 2 consecutive 6s, both over mid-wicket, and well, they are on the attack. We did see it coming. England need to think of something here, because that really wasn't a bad ball. That was
it was
possibly
kind of in the
slightly,
slot,
wasn't quite
wasn't
full
it?
enough. As you rightly say, Hendo, in the slot. We were having a fascinating conversation earlier about new sporting terms. Top bins was one we were talking about.
Top bins. You've got to stick it in top bins.
But the best one of all was your Brazilian one, translation of effectively putting the ball it where the owl sleeps.
Yeah, putting the ball in the top corner is putting it where the owl sleeps.
Which I thought was marvellous.
As translated from the Brazilian. Portuguese, really.
Well, yes. 2 consecutive 6s. Chris Jordan. That is the one you were talking about. It's thrust into the pitch. Umpire Rifle says you've had 1 for the over. I don't think England will mind that too much. What they've got, though, is a crucial dot ball to stem the 6 flood that was threatening to come their way via Hardik Pandya.
You kind of have to re-establish what's a good ball and what's a bad ball in T20 cricket, I think, don't you?
Anything that goes for 2 or less is probably a good ball.
It's a good ball, but not necessarily as we would, those of us brought up in the traditional forms of the game would see it as you just see it as short shit, wouldn't you? But could easily be a deliberate, slower, shorter one.
It's 1 4 and 3 6s for Hardik Pandya in his 36 so far. 12 off this over. But Chris Jordan, crucially, has just bowled a dot ball. What has he got this time around? Oof. That's full Yorker. Hardik digs it out. It's down to square leg. Sam Curran fields. It will be 1. But I think, Hendo, England will take those last 2. 1 off 2 after 2 6s.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to watch Stuart Broad getting caned for 6.
Why do they need to show this in the middle of an exciting game anyway? I just do not understand this. We're only going to see the final 6 that Yuvraj Singh here anyway.
It's a BCCI stroke ICC mandate.
It's ridiculous.
We think England might be doing all right here. Quick, show something to discourage them.
Well, the other thing is he's bowled 2 really good in-swinging Yorkers for which he's not got reward. He deserves a bit of reward.
What's he going to come up with this time? He's driven sweetly, and he's driven away through extra cover. There's a man there, though. And it will restrict them to 2. Well done, Chris Jordan. Jason, you were saying you'd take 2 a ball at the moment.
I think so. I think anywhere within the field of play is a good result of
well, if you're taking about, if it was 50 for Virat,
it is
by the way.
50 for Virat. Well done him. We will celebrate that fact, I think. If I can look for where's millstones these days. There it is.
He's a millstone around our necks.
Appeared in a strange place. I wonder why. Okay, but it has. Last ball. It should be the last ball of this. Jordan over.
Oh! He's caught him, hasn't he?
Is he? I think it was a bump ball.
Oh! No, I think he's got him.
Has he got him?
I think he has.
He has. Virat has turned to grey on the scoreboard, and it was just flick really to well, short
Backward
third man, really,
yeah.
backward point, wherever you want to call it. Certainly sort of halfway between the rope and where slip would be, but guided.
Good catch, Adil
Rashid.
What a catch.
Flew through the air like a superhero that isn't Urban Foxman. Chris Jordan's enjoyed it. Revenge for him. Virat's gone for 50 of 40 balls. England have their 4th wicket. They will be relieved about that too.
Got him! Why did he do that? Unbelievable! Well, Virat might consider himself a little unlucky because he just opened the face, didn't he, to quite a wideish ball, and thought that was going to go away for 4. But excellent catch from Adil Rashid, and well done, Chris Jordan. I think he deserved it. He bowled 2 or 3 really good deliveries that had got him nothing, and he was unlucky not to get that LBW, wasn't he, in the previous over?
Well, here's
so
the new man.
I think that's good. Minimalist.
Rishabh Pant. Will he be minimalist in his scoring?
He's
He
maximalist.
has been so far. This tournament, he's yet to really come to life. I think a lot of debate whether it should be DK or Rishabh Pant. See, I'm quite happy to call Dinesh Karthik DK. I just will not resort to Sky Sports.
Presumably,
Sky News.
Karthik is still bad back, injured, unavailable.
Yeah, well, is it an injury though? I thought it was more of a tactical switch.
It's a strange one, isn't it, that you leave someone with the ability of Rishabh Pant. I mean, quite a lot of the time they've played in the same team.
Curran, he's bowling his final over. It's the crucial 19th, and he's been driven away for just a single. So Hardik has one. Rishabh Pant will be the new man, and he will be the next man on strike. To the demon child, also of Surrey. I mean, basically,
there's many a demon in Surrey.
If Surrey just go shopping with a massive checkbook and just literally buy anything they see, don't they?
Excuse me, both these players came up through the junior
there's
system.
a player. I want him. I'll buy him. Buy him for me, please.
That's rich coming from a man who supports Watford, who change managers every 3 seconds.
Well, yes.
And presumably have to pay them off.
Well, yeah, there is that. There is that as well. 137 for 4. We are 1 ball into the 19th over. Rishabh Pant is getting himself steady to face his first ball.
Yes, that will be the subject of my as-yet-to-be-written Maximum article about the Surrey takeover of the ECB.
Oh, yes, we need that.
We're looking forward to that. Quick gentleman's adjustment from Pant. And it seems to have done the trick because he's got his first ball away, backward a square for one of these.
I think he guessed that was going to be the shorter, slower one, and gave himself lots of room. Just made sure he got it up and over the infield, and then it was going to be 4 runs.
He's left-handed, of course, so it wasn't backward a square. It was over backward point, and it was quite high.
It's just heaved.
Moeen Ali set off in pursuit, but realised it was absolutely a lost cause. So 5 off the first 2 from Sam Curran. What will he have learnt from Chris Jordan, who got hauled for 2 mighty 6s, but then wrestled things back? That's full and swinging, and Pant somehow engineers it out from under his toes. That is a way to backward square. It is a single for him. He's moved on to 5. Hardik Pandya, very much the danger man, back on strike.
9 balls. I think they can get 165. 165. I think they can get 165 max.
The man from Koryasi in Gujarat. He's 29 now, Hardik Pandya. 5 and 18, his 2 scores in this competition against Bangladesh and Zimbabwe, respectively. Curran, full, wide, angled away, past point. 4 more for Hardik Pandya. A fine shot.
It's Nissan Shi. It's Nissan Shi.
I think Sam Curran will be disappointed with that one, Hendo.
Yeah, it's a little bit wide. Gave him. I mean, he's so deep in his crease, Hardik Pandya. I'm not sure what you do as a bowler when someone goes that deep to try and negate the Yorker and turn it into a half volley. You can go for the shorter one, I suppose. You go for the wider one, hope to, make it a little bit too wide for him.
So far, 146 for 4. You could see it coming.
Yeah.
Short, pulled, it's high, it's handsome,
gone.
it's mighty, and it's gone for another one of these.
But he never looks like he's not going to hit those well, does he, Hardik Pandya? He just makes it look so easy. It's so difficult for a bowler. And you've got those relatively short boundaries to the sides.
Was he injured earlier on? Is there a reason
Hardik.
why he's only played against Bangladesh and Zimbabwe?
Yes, he was. He was coming back from a long-term back injury.
Was. Yeah, he was. Because I mean, he took wickets as well. He's taken 2 for 28, 2 for 16.
Yes, he's been more effective as the enforcer bowler.
There have been times, haven't there, when they've played him just as a batsman. Now Butler and
it's quite a conference.
Going to get together, isn't he, with Sam Curran? Yeah.
A Butler Curran Jordan think tank. Sammy Curran, England's arch finisher.
Well,
but he's struggling a bit here in that role.
16 he's gone for in this over. We said 165. They can get more than 165 here. They can make it suddenly make it very difficult for England.
I think this is just don't bullshit.
Well, yeah.
That's
very difficult not to.
Fine advice.
He's only a couple of runs short of his 50 himself now, isn't he, Hardik?
152 for 4. Hardik Pandya going beautifully, as you rightly say. Shade over 8, the run rate. That's full, and that's hauled high. It's going to go straight on the bounce. Ben Stokes! Let it wriggle away, and it's gone for 4. Ben Stokes, what have you done?
Oh, my word.
He hangs his head in shame. It's 4 more for Hardik Pandya. He's lucky to get those. There was nothing wrong with the 6s, but England have let 2 runs there slip. It's 50 for Hardik. It's 4 runs.
If you kids can't listen and you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary, crossing a boundary.
He's basically headbutted the boundary sponge.
50, pretty nifty on a bowler's pitch.
It's very easy to get annoyed with Ben Stokes. Ben Stokes is a brilliant fielder. Sometimes things are going to go wrong. It's a bit unlucky there.
Well, Kumar Dharmasena is doing a David Coleman impression.
Of course it's a 4. How could that not be a 4?
But that absolutely, that's what I... To be fair, we've got a better view than probably Dharmasena does.
Yeah.
Sitting where we are.
Get through some tweets. Leah says, these shots by Hardik want to touch myself inappropriately. Mog says, Virat needs to chillax a little or his eyes are going to burst. Mayank says, here we go England. Keep sending them short outside off. Stumps at 80 to 82 miles an hour.
Yeah, maybe where we missed... I mean, how much have we missed Mark Wood?
Message says, I'd like to say I was wrong and Jimmy Carter is not dead. The tweet was from a fake account which managed to fool Wikipedia as well.
Well, what's the point of doing that? What sick person thinks that's a funny thing to do?
Unless Jimmy Carter did it himself.
Christopher White says, can I recommend the excellent NPCC grass cutter, aka Think Pagan, as an option for your resident groundsman?
Think Pagan?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
The only groundsman that will work for you, apparently from Ravi Naya, is the gopher from Caddyshack.
Oh, that would do it. 156 for 4. We're going into the last over. Chris Jordan is the man entrusted with it. He's gone for 2 for 31 off his 3.
I think, Tony, I want to come back. You said he saved 2 runs there. I think he... Or he would have saved 2 runs.
Cost 2 runs.
Yeah, no, I know, but I think he actually cost 3 runs there because I don't think they'd have got a second run there because it went so fast.
It did.
If he had picked it up, even if he'd picked it up at the second attempt, I think he would have got it in quickly enough for them not to be able to come back for 2.
Well, we did say that Hardik and Kohli would be the danger pairing. Hardik's just gone to his 50, he's on 52. Virat Kohli made it to his 50. So they've put on 102 as a pair. 102 of 156. That's wide, lofted. This time Ben Stokes takes it cleanly enough on the bounce. And it was just a single. Rishabh Pant moves to 6. And probably for the interests of India...
That's what they wanted.
That's what they wanted. Yep. They got Hardik back on strike.
Yeah.
It's another bad ball that England got away with, though.
Yes, it is. I think they've got away with, maybe an over and a half's worth of bad balls in this innings. That's not to say that India won't do the same. So.
Well, we shall see. Arshdeep Singh, of course, very much a danger man. He's been in form. Hardik Pandya's been in form.
Bhuvi Kumar
Bhuvi's been looking okay. I think this is a decent score on a used pitch where, for much of it, it seemed that India were behind the rate, but they always have that.
Arshdeep's looking a lot happier now.
Yeah, you've got to think about the spin options as well. Ashwin, this is taking spin, this pitch. Aksa Patel.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for England. They've just got to keep a few wickets in hand. I think that's the main thing early on.
It's going to be right arm over and in. That's driven supremely away, but fielded by, that looks like Harry Brook, who's out there on the cover boundary. Just one. Hardik's furious with himself that he wasn't able to find the gap there. He didn't. Harry Brook is what he found, and Harry Brook did his job. 2 singles off the first 2 balls of this final over. 158 for 4. The run rate a shade over 8.
Was due in the calculations of England when they put India into bat? I'm just wondering that they might have a slightly damp ball to bowl with India.
We'll have to ask the man in the weather cave when he's back. That's an excellent ball from Chris Jordan. India have got themselves in a right old tangle. The ball beat Pant. Hardik Pandya was already at the other end. They just stood and looked at one another. And it's a classic 20th over mix-up, but it's a wicket for England, and rather disappointingly in a way, from an England perspective at least, it's Rishabh Pant. They were in a right old tangle, and they have to go.
He sacrificed himself, didn't he? Basically.
That's the right play in that situation.
Must be a run out here. Oh, how tragic. How tragic, how tragic, how tragic.
Well, there's degrees of tragedy, let's be honest.
Yep.
That probably in the 20th over wasn't really that tragic from an India perspective. What would matter more is whether it's a ball with no run.
Let me get some tweets in
Please
quickly.
do. Yep.
Hattie says, in that previous over, Chris Jordan reminded us why he doesn't usually make England starting 11. Stonking catch by Rashid, though, but the death bowling is suffering for the first time in the tournament. Will it cost them? Mang says, only one over for Stokes, what's going on? And
no, he's bowled 2 actually.
Ravi Nair says, this is 60 minutes ago. Ravi Nair says, England will stutter to 148 for 8. That's your prediction. You heard it here first.
Sounds about right.
That should be R. Ashwin is the new man. I won't jingle him up yet.
And Mog says that was some muppetry from Stokes there.
Yes.
It was just, it's one of those things that can happen. He did his best to retrieve it. It did look clumsy. Jordan's going to be in.
Oh.
High! What a shot that is. Has it got enough? I don't think it has.
Yes,
yes, it has. It's got enough and plenty more besides. It's another one of these.
You came out of your hand and into my zone. Now it's up in the stands. It's a 6. It's beautiful and it's mine.
I don't know, how does he do it without any follow through? That's the other thing. It's all the speed of the hand over about a foot.
Chris Jordan, I don't think, could answer that question because he had a look of utter desperation on his
Heavy
face.
bat?
Sorry?
Heavy bat helps. Quick wrists, as they say. That's full. Hauled away. That's going to be a 4 this time. Stokes couldn't get there. Nearly damages himself in the advertising hoardings. India are throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this. They might as well.
Well, the only good thing is that Jordan's only got one more ball to bowl, and the only good thing is that England have only got one more ball to bowl. But I think Pandya has arguably taken it away from England here.
Well, England have, they've. I mean, it's cause and effect. He's batted beautifully, and England have tried to find ways to combat it, and in doing that, they've bowled more sloppily.
Yes.
As a result of it, which came first, chicken or egg? Pandya attacking or England bowling badly?
Is there a call for bowling further back? When he goes so deep in the crease, do you bowl from further back to disrupt that length so that it doesn't end up being a Yorker that's turned into a half volley? I don't know. It's very difficult. I think Harris Ralph is one of those bowlers who's bowled a little bit behind the popping crease.
174 will be the India target. Well bowled. Well bowled indeed. It's going to go for 4.
He's out.
He's hit his own wicket. I
think he has.
He's hit wicket. Hardik Pandya has gone for 63. It's a dot ball and a wicket. It means that England have dismissed India for 168 for 6. But boy, there was a point. Well, after 10 overs, you'd have been hard pressed to see that many runs coming. It is slightly ahead of Adelaide par, certainly in this tournament, and certainly as far as the Big Bash games from this season would tell you.
Well, it's going to need someone to play a Pandya-like innings from England, isn't it? It really is.
Well, it was two of them. You see, it was Pandya
well, yes.
and Kohli who both came to the party, didn't they?
They did. I mean, although you got Kohli once he just got to his 50, but Pandya is always a danger man in those. In the last sort of 5 or 6 overs, he must be one of the most dangerous hitters that you can have to bowl to.
Yeah, as you say, there's no backleft, so you think you've got a good ball, and then suddenly it's over the ropes.
There's no follow through. That's what gets me. It's you know, you always talked about how the follow through is so important, but it's just that area when he's actually connecting with the ball, the speed of his hand in that just short area of maybe about a foot of movement is where he's so strong, and he's got 63 off 33. Has anyone hit a 4 and been hit wicket at the same time? That's pretty magnificent.
Well, I have to say that was quite impressive. Hitting a 4 and hitting wicket, as you rightly say. Let me just summarise where we stand then. After the power play, 38 for 1, England will have been happier. India feeling they could have done more. After 10 overs, 62 for 2, England will have been the happier. But 50s for Kohli, and a 63 before he finally hit wicket off the final ball from Hardik Pandya has got India to 168 for 6. That is distinctly competitive. From an England bowling perspective, 2 overs for 18 for Stokes, 1 for 24 for Chris Woke, none for 42 for Sami Curran, not quite clicking into gear for this one. 1 for 20 from his 4, probably the pick of the bowlers was Adil Rashid, and none for 21 off 3 for Liam Livingstone, and 3 wickets but for 43 runs for Chris Jordan. So it's 168 for 6, 169 is what England will need.
And look at that, in that last period of them getting 68 runs in the last 6 overs, Hardik Pandya got 54 of them. I mean, you know, you talk about when someone's in really good form, you want to try and keep them away from the strike, and England weren't able to do that. So that's really added to their troubles, I would say.
Yep.
Anyway, some tweets.
Yep. Our own misery. John Batham.
Oh, right. Okay.
The Hendo in training.
Yes.
England have fallen apart under pressure, much as expected. The last 5 overs have been a shambles. They had a very ordinary tournament. Questions will be asked and rebuttal tenure after this tournament. Mike Taylor says, Jimmy Carter reviewed it and he's not out. Get in there, Jimbo. 2 off the century.
He doesn't work for Peanut. Oh, actually he does. I'll take that back. Or he used to.
Elon Smuck, that's a great name. Colin Rosenthal, otherwise known as. Does anyone know if there's some reason why the top item on my Twitter What's Happening list reads Cricket Live ICC T20 World Cup. England defeat New Zealand by 20 runs.
Ooh, when did that happen?
That pass.
Well, we did beat them by a few runs, didn't we?
And Ravi Nair says, seriously, why is Wokes in this team?
I don't think you've got to look at Wokes. I think Jordan is probably the weak link. I mean, he's a brilliant fielder, and he's taken 3 wickets, but he's gone for 43 runs. And you know, you have to ask yourself, would Hardik Pandya have got enough top edges off Mark Wood to have done the same against Mark Wood?
They might have just have gone further.
Well, he
might just have gone further. Yes.
I mean, he got caught in the eye of the Pandya Kohli storm a little bit, did Jordan. I mean, he's bowled, I recall his first over was pretty reasonable.
I think after 2 overs he was looking quite good. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But he is one of those bowlers that when he gets it wrong, he's very hittable, isn't he? And that's the unfortunate thing for England. I mean,
I did think, rather darkly, that without Mark Wood, that was probably 20 runs that would cost England. I think that's probably about what it did.
Well, the other thing you can look at is you can say that Adil Rashid and Liam Livingstone as spinners bowled 6 overs between them, was it? For not very many. And so did we miss a trick by not bringing on Mo Ali, or would he have just gone further? That's another question, isn't it?
Well,
it's going to
the
have
only
to be
one
asked.
he really would have come on against is probably Rishabh Pant,
yeah.
who's not done well.
But it's a kind of it's kind of defeatist to think that one of your major spinners, or someone who has been one of your major spinners for a number of years, cannot be entrusted against right-handed batsmen. Isn't that? I mean, isn't that fairly defeatist from England?
It might be. I think Josie Oakes got the usual reprise in there already, saying we're doomed. Messenger says that's what I call acceleration from India. First 13 overs for 80 runs. Next 7 overs, 88 runs.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating to see how England tackle this, because I think that their default setting now is go hard, go early, and of course you do want to do that in the power play. But the risk is it costs you wicket on the way. Wickets on the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll know within about 3 or 4 overs whether England have got a chance of winning this, because they'll either be 3 down or they'll have gone off and got 41 runs.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be one of those. You know, Phil Salt, he hasn't played since Pakistan, has he? Or did he play in the did he play in any of the warm-ups against Australia? I can't remember. Not sure that he did.
I think he did.
Maybe.
But basically, I think that was a trial between him and Hale to who got in to the.
Well, also, I mean, you see, I think Milan. I think this is a good ground for Milan. Those short square boundaries.
Yep.
So he loves to pull, and he plays those really fluent cover drives, and he could pick up. You know, he can play decent enough shots to get 6 at the square boundaries without too much problem. And I think England are going to miss that from Milan. Phil Salt for me is a man who will play you 2 great shots and then get out. That's the way I feel about him. I know he did get one innings in that series where he got 70 plus.
Yeah, I felt that about Liam Livingstone this year as well.
Yeah, to a certain extent that's true, I think, yes. And he would kind of do what the bowler wanted him to do, which was just, you know, it was an ego against an ego, wasn't it? And he would get himself out that way.
I'll flog my ball straight to deep square leg, because I think I could get it over him.
Yeah.
I can tell you WinViz is fairly conservative, I think. It has India at 51% and England at 49%.
Oh, I would put that at least 10 points higher for India.
That's severe bet hedging, isn't it?
I think that's trying to encourage you to bet.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
You're just doomsayers, all you English types.
All you English.
Lose
Hang on. All you English types. You're English by birth.
I'm Australian by adoption and choice. You're just also fucking
What sort of person would
very well placed to win this.
What sort of person would choose to be
It's just
Australian?
the weather, Messi. It's just the weather.
Who we got on first for the England reply? Let's have a quick look at the.
I will tell you that. That's a very
It
good
is,
question. I think it's the 2 gentlemen who have just appeared.
It's the 3 people who have just appeared.
Who's the other one? Bennett, is it?
And India.
And India. Bennett and India.
Lord, do you know what's going to happen? I'm going to get an earful
No,
from the
not
bear,
Bennett.
aren't I?
Fourthie, sorry. No, I'm not
Do
looking.
I look like Bennett?
I'm not looking.
So I sound like Bennett.
I can't see anyone.
It's Fourthie, Messi, and an Indo. I will probably have to stay in here and push buttons.
Yes,
because
you will.
the bear. I've committed the schoolboy error in scheduling of 3 people remotely, and I can hear the bear growling and grumping.
Yeah, he's very nervous today.
I can even hear the padding of paws now. He's going to come in and make his point.
Here he is. Here he is.
You're very welcome to take over the rotors, Bear. Very welcome. You can add that to the list of other things.
Beautifully poised. This is the perfect setup for the semi-final, it seems to me.
I take it we're on air, are we? Are we on air at the moment?
Yes, we are.
We are on air. Okay, that's very good.
We have been on air.
Yes, no, I thought so. Yes, I've been caught out by that before. Well, I reckon personally it's about 55-45 to India. How do you read it, a ninja?
I hesitate to agree with you on that, but I will because only because I think India's got the score on the board. It's just not going to be that easy. I know it's far, but I don't think it's just going to be that easy. India's weak links are the spinners. Akshar has been woefully out of form. Ashwin's been indifferent at best. So it's a question of how Hardik Pandya bowls to cover up, I think, or if they have a great day. So.
Yeah, sure. How are you seeing it, Messi?
Well, I've got to tell you that Cricinfo has got it so precisely that they say India 52.11%, England 47.89%.
Well,
and
they've got an Excel sheet, obviously.
It's crazy stuff. But actually, I think that's about right. India's shading it, but, and I agree with you, and Indo runs on the board is great. But I do think this England batting lineup is starting to come into some sort of form. It'll be interesting to see how Salt goes at number 3, though, particularly, I think.
Yes, and whether they'll live to regret not giving Salt any matches at all so far in this tournament will be an interesting factor. They gave Rishabh Pant, for example, by contrast, the Indians, in one of the round games, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what Rohit said, that it's unfair to take one of the players who might potentially play into the knockout stage without giving that person a game.
Indeed. Well, they're coming out. It's Butler and Hales, as is traditional, to open up the batting for England, and no doubt we will be hearing some jingles of them.
Hales, Hales, the gang's all here. What a extra weekend, what a extra weekend. Hales, Hales, the gang's all here. What a extra weekend now.
Prior ain't no loss, cause we found someone Sutler. Okay, he can't spell Joss, but he also can't spell Butler. Joss Butler. Just because he is Joss Butler. One S and two T's, Joss Butler.
It's going to be Joss Butler, I think, too. Looks as if he will be facing the first ball. The ICC rating of 13, a strike rate of 143. It's everything to play for. It's a World Cup semi-final. It's Adelaide. It's a good thing it's not in Melbourne. It's absolutely pouring with rain all day, as has been customary for the last month here. I don't want to look too far ahead, but the forecast isn't great for the final at the weekend. But for now, let us concentrate on this second semi-final. It's going to be Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
He got sent over from North, a better bat than we thought. He got Booby Kuma's eyes.
And thank you. And joy of joys, my feed and my screen are synced, so you don't have to have that annoying 10 or 12 second delay. Channel 9 have decided that this merits going on free to air. Joss Butler faces up to Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who pulls out halfway through. Is he not happy with his run-up? Who you expected to open the bowling in India, Kumar?
Yes, definitely.
And Kumar against Butler from memory. Kumar's got a little bit of the hex over Butler, so we shall see. Kumar in first ball, and that starts wide and goes wide. He'll be lucky to get away with that, but he does not start with a wide.
Dharmasen has been pretty consistent as long as it's been.
I think he was a little unlucky.
Outside, yeah.
No, I think he was very unlucky there.
Well, that pitched significantly inside the line, so I think that's probably what saved. That was about a foot inside the line, but it swung a lot.
Yeah. It did swing a lot, which can fool the naked eye. Rishabh Pant's got it's called for a helmet. Interesting. When he's going to put a helmet on, he's going to come up to the stumps by the look of it. This is an interesting. Kumar's got probably no say in the matter, but it'll keep Butler inside his crease. Interesting. Of course, it narrows down some of the options for caught behind. And that's wide and a misfield, a real hoik of a misfield there, and that has gone for 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Dived over it like a Scottish goalkeeper, and it's gone all the way to the fence.
Jeez, there must be other goalkeepers that are also available.
Not like the Scottish ones. Actually, that might be unfair. That might be an outdated comment.
I was just...
no doubt the Twitter sphere will go mad. In comes Kumar for the second legitimate ball, and that curves in, and Butler does quite well to keep it out. There's quite a lot. I think that was swing on that ball, was it not?
Yeah. But the previous delivery, I think you did some disservice to Suryakumar Yadav, because that was wide of him. It really
was,
wasn't.
Yes. It wasn't really, no. The replay rather caught me out. You didn't really have much of a chance of getting to it. To be fair, and we must be fair. Third legitimate ball of the over. Kumar in again. Probably would have been a wide. And this one, I hesitate to mention the Scottish goalkeeper because that one was definitely wide of Sky in the covers, and that's gone for 4 as well.
He's asking whether he should go out.
Bullet.
That was a
Sky's
bit of a
asking the
trace
captain whether Sky's asking the captain whether he should go out to the boundary.
Already, yeah. Well, he'd probably be better off there. It's 9 for no wickets after 4 legitimate deliveries, 3 legitimate deliveries, including the wide. So this is a good start for England.
Oh.
And that one was wide, but actually curved slightly back in again, tailed back in after it had gone past the bat, and they, as it were, get away with that one. So a non-wide wide.
Quite high risk bowling, this, isn't it?
Yeah,
they clearly have a plan with
yeah.
and they're...
I mean, that was the thing in the English innings. They were bowling to a plan. You can't really fault Jordan or Curran too much because they bowled, within a few inches the balls that were expected of them. It's just that Pandya was on absolutely outstanding form. That happens in D20. In comes Kumar again. Oh, and he's beaten Butler. It's seemed away from him through to the stumps. There was an attempt at just in case Butler was being a bit sluggish and had wandered outside his crease, there was an attempt at the run out, very quick thinking from Pant the keeper, but nothing doing there.
There's a bit of a back of the hand delivering that one.
Yes, it was, yes.
Well, it's interesting, Pant's going back again, hasn't he?
He's playing mind games here. He's also using up quite a lot of time doing all this. Last ball of the over, Kumar to Butler. And that's our leg stump half volley, which has been clipped very nicely past the man at mid-wicket for 4 of these. And we're done. 13 off the first over. Messy.
That's definitely not the start India would want.
India were looking for, no.
Crypto Rocketeer says, will England fall like crypto yesterday? Mog says, I was going to do a jingle for the final itself, but it's going to be India versus Pakistan. If it's going to be India versus Pakistan, I might have to rethink how much bolt thrower it needs to be based on. Perko says, Bishop in another schoolboy era. Not sure I saw that one. Armchair Cricket Podcast says, India have the momentum at the break, but the total is just at par. Can their spinners get in the game?
No, it's Arshdeep time. Shall we jingle him up?
And then this guy called Arshdeep Singh. The obvious jokes will be entertained here.
Yes, good, thank you. Arshdeep, who's bowled well in this tournament so far. He's to be Hale's first ball of the match. Left arm over, little bit of swing, tailed into his pads. Manages to get a bit of a leading edge, so not an entirely secure shot. Out 2-1 for the man on the sweeper on the offside. Hale's off the mark. Arshdeep bowling well so far. Oh, sorry, yes.
Fourthie, Colin Soda, our resident Scotsman, has just tweeted in, Fourthie, you shit.
I love it when I upset Colin, it's great. Arshdeep, he's been on good form so far this tournament in India.
Yeah, he's been bowling well. He's got to bowl well here given the first over. Let's see how that goes.
Indeed. Probably for those who follow Test cricket rather than the short ball form of the game, might not be as familiar with Arshdeep, but increasingly, of course, in India, that would be a strange thing to do. Arshdeep in again for the second ball of the over. Butler on strike, and there's a little bit of swing, but Butler manages to negotiate it down wide of the man of third man for 4 of these.
Well, Rohit tells him to stick to the plan. Clearly.
What do you think the plan is for Arshdeep?
To get Butler to keep doing this and get an outside edge to point.
The point, yeah. So he may not have been that far off with that ball, but Butler's is he in excellent form at the moment? He's 16 off 7. Next ball, that's not
wide.
Good. That's way down the leg side. He gave it a chance to swing. It did swing, but too much.
So umpires spread your wings and call who
Well, so far so good for England. 19 off the first 8 legitimate deliveries. A few nerves creeping in for India, maybe.
Well, it's too early. But they've seen enough of Josh Butler, so
yeah, that's true.
They know what he can do.
This is when Naka
priorities to get him out.
Naka will give me a terrific telling off at this stage if I said something like that. And that's a nice in-swinging leg stump ball. He manages to clip it away. There's a potential of an overthrow, but well backed up there. Just the one run. Messi chuckling to himself. Is there
the end of the over.
Is there a World Cup fever gripping Singapore and India, or not really?
Yeah, but it's a few months away.
It's another 2 weeks away, isn't it? Yes,
Yeah.
true.
A few weeks away, sorry.
Yes.
It does creep up on you.
Having a look at a rather lovely Adelaide skyline, a sliver of pink. That's a swinging full toss, which is a low full toss, of course, in T20 cricket. It can be a dangerous ball, and he can't do anything with it. Straight out to the man at mid-off, no run.
And Virat tells Alex Hales, watch out, mate. Stay in your crease.
Chat, mate. He would have been well back on the throw, but I think there is a warning about the potential mancad there, which is fair enough. And if he transgresses again, he can't say he wasn't warned. If he does. Arshdeep in for the 5th ball of the over to Butler. Slower ball, and it's a slightly dangerous run, but there's a fumble in the field from Kohli himself, who looks a little exasperated with himself, and they've come through successfully. Got the 17 off 10, the score on 20. Having a look at Stokes, looking pensive in the pavilion. Could this be his day? Might need to be. Could be a very tight finish here. Hardik Pandya has been the fantastic trump card so far in the.
Well, Hardik Pandya was always going to be that before Sky came into the picture a few months ago. I'll continue after this ball.
Butler plays a very nice cut to the man on the boundary. He keeps the strike. He's 18 off 11. England 21 for none at the end of the second. Do you want to just finish that point?
Yeah, I was just saying that Hardik was expected to be that, but he's not really been showing that in this World Cup. So this was his time to come good on the big stage.
Indeed, he has. Messi, over to you.
Armchair Cricket Podcast says clearly India the more nervous of the two teams. Butler simply trusting his hand, eye and wrist, although I suspect Ajit is equally nervous. Now Mark, who's the groundsman recommended to us as a commentator, said, hey, what's all this about? Got no time for social media. Got grass to talk and fertiliser to taste. Why is it that whenever I say fertiliser, my head does it in a Cornish accent? I'm off to sniff me praxis.
Very good. Kumar in again. And drags Hales wide. Not wide enough for a wide. He misses the ball. So a successful, slightly slower, slightly wider ball there from Kumar. Dot ball. And Virat and Rohit in urgent consultation. We're seeing Pandya, who's not come out for the start of the innings yet. He's taking some water. I don't know whether he's got a bit of an injury knock there, has he?
On the left hand, yeah, he was getting his left hand treated.
In again, and this one is played out by Hales to the man on the boundary. Just the one run. So Kumar is pulling it back a bit in this over. .1 after 12 of his first. England 22 after 2.2. Okay, so after all the 14 balls of the innings, suddenly we've switched round, and the win predictor is India 39, England 61. Goodness me, who knows what it will be at the end of the 4th over.
Oh, God.
Dynamic. You can't, you can't deny that.
Yes, it is very dynamic. That is absolutely right. Little twirl of the shoulder from Butler usually means he's going to become expansive, but just plays it out to the man on the boundary. Happy to not go too crazy just yet. Doesn't need to. 169 is a par total, no more, no less. Looking at today's milestones, Hales 10 runs to 2,000. Moeen Ali 4 runs to 500 in 2022. Not really that much of a milestone, but there it is.
They'll put up anything.
They will. Yes, I suppose if you employ researchers, they will research. Give a cabinet minister a title, he'll destroy the economy, for example.
Well, that seems to happen very often.
It does, doesn't it? All too frequently. And that's a half volley, which Hales has quite fairly skillfully just chipped over the infield, but not into the hands of the man on the boundary, and they'll come back for 2. That was very nicely done by Hales, who's had a successful return to the English side. He's 5 off 5. Butler's had the majority of the strike, obviously. England are on 25. I'm, for one, certainly pleased to see Hales coming reasonably good in this tournament. I think he's been rather unfairly treated, particularly by Owen Morgan and by the England setup.
I love the fact that you refused to look at Owen Morgan the other day.
Yes, that was very funny, wasn't it?
That was sweet.
That was a real teenage stuff on.
Whoa.
Oh, and there's a huge shot, and it's gone all the way for right over long off for 6 of these from Hales.
2, 4, 6.
And the data we can reveal is that was the 318th sixth of the tournament. So there we are. Well, that was a terrific
tell
shot.
anyone.
Just wide enough, freed his arms, took 2 paces down the track, and it disappeared.
Poor bowling by Booby.
Yes, not the best of balls. And perhaps if Pant had stayed up to the stumps, he might have stayed in his crease, but he did not. Kumar proving expensive. This is the last ball of his second over, which Hales, I think, has managed to bisect the 2 men in the covers. He hasn't quite gone all the way, didn't quite time it. They'll certainly come back for 2. Hales moves on to 13, and at the end of the third over, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar's gone for 25 off his 2 overs so far, so an expensive start from him. Over to Messi for some tweets.
Well, I'm waiting to see some dissection on field. It'll be interesting. Leah says, war minus the shooting sounds very well suited to a bolt thrower tribute jingle. A bolt thrower.
Yes, bolt thrower.
Josie Oak says, Test cricket, I remember that. I liked it, but it's gone right out of fashion. Well, I'm pleased to say that the 1st of December is the first day of the England versus Pakistan series, and we'll be with you on Guerrilla Cricket.
Fantastic.
Mog says, shame I've already used... Go on.
No, sorry, Messi. Yeah, no, okay. We've got Akshar Patel coming into the attack, which will be interesting, and then you'll be pleased. Let's have a look.
The stroke plays diverse, and as sweet as a slice of Battenberg. Aksha, 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 because if you can't score.
Welcome to the semi-final, Akshar Patel. Butler has gone inside out and hit his first ball over mid-off for 4.
I don't even know why Akshar is in this team, because he's just been terrible all World Cup, and he wasn't even in the team before that.
And that was... he timed that one to perfection, Butler. He just managed to scoop it over the infield, but only just. And it was hit pretty slowly. And for a moment, Pandya looked interesting, but they've come back for 2. So 6 off the first 2 balls is not the start that Akshar was looking for.
Well, why would you bowl him in the power play, anyhow?
Mysteries aplenty. Alex Hales, 2,000 T20 career runs. Good for him. Left arm round the wicket, Akshar Patel, and that's a faster one, and just a bit more of a dart, that one, and Hales contents himself with just playing it back straight to Akshar. Could go either way this over. 5 off the first 3 balls. And that one's a little shorter, and they set off quickly. There's a misfield, but there is no run on the misfield, so just the single to Hales. He moves on to 14 off 9.
Well, India didn't bat as badly in the end as New Zealand, but they're bowling like New Zealand, that's for sure.
So far. Long way to go. That's the leg spinner from Akshar, which is just played out fairly nonchalantly for 1 run. England move on to 40. 7 off the over from Akshar so far. 1 ball to go. Looking, I don't know, maybe just a little nervous with the prospect of a final against Pakistan looming.
No, I don't think they're bothered about the final at all at this stage. It's just.
You're probably right. And that's just played into the infield by Butler. He maintains the strike. He moves on to 24. England 41 for none at the end of the fourth over. Messi.
And Mog tweets something that would make more sense to Forthy than to me. It says, shame I've already used Bursum's War for someone else. Also, fucking Varg. Makes no sense to me. Brian 001 says, England winning so far. Can India hold their nerve and stick to their plan? England seem to be finding plenty of gaps. Mog says, World Cup fever wasn't even sweeping Australia when the Australian team was in it.
That's very true.
Jay Grover says, not drinking during this match is making me feel strangely tense. I do not like these human feelings.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you to all our regular tweeters. We do appreciate it. It makes a big difference to the quality of our output to have so much interaction. And it really makes the station what it is. So many thanks to all of you. And to add our many jinglers as well. It's a fantastic alternative to mainstream cricket. A lot of people I've managed to convert to guerrilla cricket. And they love it. Okay, last over of our spell together, it's Mohammed Shami time, and after this ball, which is for dot ball to Hales, I'm sure we'll jingle him up. Thank you very much for that. Maybe not my favourite of all the jingles, but very good. Hales makes room, takes 2 steps back. It's gone high into the Adelaide air, and it's gone all the way for 6 of these. Fantastic.
Excellent batting from Hales. Really, really good batting.
Straight over long off that one.
Those straight shots, he's really, getting the ball in the middle of his bat, giving it the distance.
Yeah, he's 21 off 12. You can't argue with that. He's doing exactly what his team wants of him, going off to a rapier start. That one, on the other hand, is just a dot ball played out to mid-off. Doesn't need to hit every ball for 6.
Mine's getting nervous. He says a hat-trick right now would be perfect for India. The win probability for England is up to 58% on Cricket Info now.
58? Well, it might be down to 50, 57 if there's only a single after this over. Who knows? Anything could happen.
Sky is probably at 70%, right?
Probably, yes. Fourth ball of the 5th over. Shami to Hales. And Hales essays a massive wahoo, which would have disappeared into the Torrens River, but misses it entirely. And it's if it actually got any bat on it at all. But it's a dot ball. So, .6 ... from Shami so far. Who will come in next? This is always an interesting question. Milan's not in the side to be shunted up and down, depending on how long the opening pair
looks like Stokes
are in for. Looking like Stokes time. This is interesting, yes. It kind of makes a bit of logical sense, because you might want someone just to, Andy's going to hate me for this, but provide a sort of bedrock.
Wrong.
Well, I think it's quite good thinking. And that one is a edge, which would have flown over first slip's hands. No first slip anyway, so that's 4 to Hales. He moves on to 25. And the score too, let's see with the 4 jingle. Well, Bear is taking his place. Do you want to play a 4 jingle?
Just have.
Yeah, just have done.
Yeah.
That is one of the little penalties of being on Zoom. Yes, Messi?
Yep.
Andy, addicted to grass is the next tweet.
Last ball of our spell together. England 51 for none. 1 ball of Shami's first over to go. He's gone for 10 so far. Oh, and that's right up in the block hole. And Hales does well to keep it out, just plays it down into mid-on. England 52 for 0 at the end of the 5th over. Shami's first over went for number 11, 24 and 26, the 2 batsmen. I will hand you over to Bear. I think I'm staying on to summarise.
You are staying on to summarise.
And I'm coming back towards the end to help India win.
Thanks, Ninja.
Yeah, you're on with me and Hendo at the end. It's going to be fun.
Yep, Pirate Badshaw says, ahoy old salts and sea dogs. Ravi Nair, 6 off the first 2 balls, 5 off the first 3 balls. Is fourthly channeling his inner Blofeld. And yeah, that's good enough. They're all talking to each other. I'm just glad to get out of the green room and all the doom and gloom in there.
Yeah, it's been a good start.
It's been great in this first 5 overs. And some of the tweets you read out at half time, I don't know how you can even celebrate a victory the way you're going on at the moment.
Well, Axar is going to continue. He's going to bowl his second over. He follows Hales. He goes back to cut him. It doesn't turn at all, and he misses it.
What I said to Hendo, it's just this is the Reds against the Blues. The Reds are miles ahead.
Yeah, they are miles ahead. And that's a good shot. That short boundary picked up. Hales has planted that into the crowd, and it's one of these. Down on the old slog sweep. I mean, the key for me for England was not to lose wickets to Arshdeep and Booby, because I've seen them take lots of wickets in the first couple of overs. They did well. They scored runs, and Arshdeep only bowled 1 over.
Yeah.
You've got to say another 3 or 4 overs of this, and then England, if they need to, and Andy's going to hate me for this, they can slightly adjust the pace at that stage.
They can, but they shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
Not
whilst
I
they
know
haven't
you're
lost a
both going to
wicket.
say that.
Well, they shouldn't while they haven't lost wickets.
And while they haven't lost wickets, that's right.
Exactly. That is clipped out to the leg side through mid-wicket. It'll be a single. Look, if they lose 3 quick wickets, they get to 70 or 80 for none, lose 3 quick wickets, and are suddenly 85 for 3.
Well, who should come in next, Stokes or Salts?
It depends, and not Stokes. No, absolutely zero reason to send Stokes in at any time at this point. Drop him down to 7.
I think I've got some bad news for you, Andy. I think he is padded up to go.
Well, I'm sure he's padded up, but it would be a tremendous waste. I don't see the point of it.
Yeah, Salt's almost a free batsman at this point.
You send Stokes out, he's just going to tit about and get India back in the game.
Well,
that's what happened against Sri Lanka, and they went on to win it nonetheless.
Pulled from a massively winning position.
Pulled by a missed time by Butler out to mid-wicket. Didn't quite carry. Hardik Pandya, as always, is the cheerleader, clapping his hands.
I love Andy. He's always very mild-mannered until you get him onto something incredibly controversial like a scoring rate. He becomes quite furious.
Dropped into the onside by Butler. He gets another dot ball to Axar. He's gone dot 6, 1 dot. Dot, even, 1 ball left. 15 off 2.
Yeah, this will have been a good over. Let's see how it ends.
Well, this is the end of the last ball of the power play, and England are 59. They get a single.
Settle for that?
Well, that's pulled hard, and it's going to be 4 runs off the last ball of the over.
Yes.
So he doesn't get out of it, okay, because he gets smashed off the last ball for 4. 1, 2, 3, and England are 63 for none after 6. Now, that should be England not losing a wicket, 2 batsmen in, power play successfully done. Yeah, it's kind of perfect.
Perfect start. Right, Mog says, shocked by the pessimism, Andy. Is this your first fucking day here? Well, I haven't had to deal with Hendo so much in this tournament. Leah is talking about Bazball. I've no idea why, because that's Test cricket, which A, isn't relevant to this, and B, I don't care about. So you've got me going now.
Yeah, he's on one now.
Jay says...
He really is, isn't he?
Jay says, which Muppet scheduled Hendo for the last overs? Well, Tony schedules everything.
Yeah.
This will fray my under-medicated nerves.
Well, he'll be up against an Indo. And me, I'll be sort of the mediator in the middle. This guy's going to bowl.
And in breaking news, Hardik Pandya.
Now, England out of power play. They've essentially got 15 overs to score 100 runs, which is marginally over 6.
Well, 14 to get 106.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's right. It's
small differences matter.
Small differences matter, indeed.
They do.
Which is more like 7, but 7 and over with 10 wickets left. Well, it's all in their hands. Josie Oak says Andy needs to channel his inner Hendo. Never. Jacko Maverick says, imagine where South Africa would have been if they beat Pakistan. Well, if I had wheels, I'd be a shopping trolley or something.
Exactly.
That's what Dominic Cummins calls Boris, isn't it? Anyway, Ashwin is actually, they're not going to bowl Hardik. Hardik did have the ball. They've changed their mind.
This is what they usually do, Ashwin on the 7th. At this point, I'd send Moen in if they lost a wicket.
Yeah, might be tempting. Hales is going to face.
You might, but I think Ashwin would come straight off again, wouldn't she?
His first ball is played up to long on by Hales. He'll get himself a single.
Do you know, did you pick up on that stat earlier? You might have mentioned it already, that Butler's played 6 matches in Adelaide and not won any of them.
Well, there's a time to break the sequence.
It's due.
There is indeed.
Is that all matches, tests, ODIs and T20s? Or just T20s?
Yeah,
Okay.
all of them.
If it was T20s, I'd say, well, the variant should say that we definitely win this one.
You can discount the test matches because that's just a given loss in Australia.
Well, exactly. Ashwin tosses that one up. Oh, wow. Is that going to be out? They're going to appeal, but it's come off the pad. Good drift there from Ashwin, and it dropped on Butler, and turn clipped off his pad. I wasn't sure whether it come off his bat, but there wasn't too much going on.
It already, and I hesitate to say it after 2 balls, and anything can happen. It already looks a slightly different ball game with Ashwin bowling.
Well, it does. That's down leg side. It's come off the boot. They're going to get through for a leg bye. Could have left that and been wide. Shoved down there by Ashwin. Oh, he's given us a wide. He didn't get anything on it. I thought he kicked it. That the umpire's given it as a wide. I thought he got a boot on that.
There's been a few dubious calls from
Oh, it's gone right off his thigh pad. No, that's the one went up in the air. Sorry.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, we need to see the one that didn't go off his thigh pad. I thought he kicked it down there, didn't he? Anyway, it's been given as a wide, so we still get the other ball. That one turned sharply.
Oof. Yeah.
Ashwin looking quite dangerous. He's only got 4 overs. He's gone for 4 off his first 3 balls. We're going to have a look here. Did it go? Well, no. It definitely missed the bat. So there was
nothing at all.
Nothing at all on the bat. The previous ball that looped up in the air. 4 off the first 3 balls. Ashwin tosses that up outside off stump. Cut by Butler out towards deep point. He'll get himself a single. Do you think England will pick the most dangerous bowlers and try and work them out, get 6, 7 and over? If they bowl a bad ball, you've got to try and hit it, I suppose. But if these two can stay there as long as possible, I mean, if these two go through to the 13th over, the game should be.
I mean, the good thing is they didn't get rattled. They didn't get rattled at all.
No, well, that's swept. That's going to be 6. That's swept over. Well,
only just.
I thought he got it further into the crowd than that. It's a short boundary, but I'm pretty certain that hit the sponge. I'm calling it.
Yeah. I think that fooled KL Rahul a bit because he just jogged after that one. It's probably out of reach, but I don't know. In this World Cup semi-final up against it, maybe have a sprint after that one, King Legend.
I would
and a dive.
So. Yeah.
Superman out in a deep. It did just.
Even if you don't get it.
Yeah, exactly.
You might get it.
Yeah.
Well, it landed on the sponge, so that's good for England. It's good risk take by Hales. That one's outside off stump. Turns sharply. He's getting some turn as Ashwin gets a lot of action on the ball though. Driven up to mid-off, who's just on the edge of the circle. And they'll get a single. 12 off Ashwin's first over. Turned into a good one.
Perfect again. One big shot. Singles off the rest. Yeah. Way ahead of the rate. Marg asks who's being a pessimist now with the Stokes stuff. Yeah, I am probably a bit hard on Stokes, but it's not his fault. But it was just so mystifying that England committed to playing him at such an early stage. I don't see why he's in the team. And Leah says, you don't care about Test cricket? I think my tractor is hobbling.
I don't know.
Yeah. I remember when this used to be an alternative cricket commentary. Now you say you don't like Test cricket and everyone's coming down on you from a great height. We're so conservative.
There's no fucking conservatives here.
Small C.
Yeah, not even that. Big L for Labour.
Hales
is going to face up. Axar is going to continue. Hales goes back on the back foot, punches it out to cover. No great force, and it'll be a single. Butler is 29 off 19. Hales is 42 off 24. England's a 75 for none after 7.1 overs. They currently are cruising this. That's been pulled. Is there one out there? There is, but it's gone over his head at cow corner, and it's gone for another one of these.
2, 4, 6.
Now you have to ask when do India start panicking here?
Well. They should be very, very worried.
They should be very worried.
Yes. England
They
are cruising it.
They are pretty much
They
cruising it.
are at the moment, yeah.
Ooh, tempted run down a third man by pretty ugly shot. Missed the bat by a while, taken by Pant, and there's no run. I mean, that's as you say, that's the one big shot for the over, getting two or three more singles, 9-10 off the over.
And India's still banging the drum. India will not be worried at all, he says.
Well, I would be if I was them.
I'll finish the tweet in a second.
Okay, that's crunched up to mid-off, and there's no run.
He says India will not be worried about facing Pakistan in the final. They're not going to have to worry about it at this rate in India.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. India, Pakistan-England final. We had that series in Pakistan. England won it 4-3. Axar Patel in. Bit short, cut by Butler, but it'll be out to the man on the sweeper on the boundary. It'll be another single. 8 off the over so far.
Also, England have waited 30 years for a rematch of the 92 World Cup final as well.
Today is the first time they played each other in a knockout game in a World Cup for 30 years, yeah.
What, if England gets through to the final against Pakistan?
No, India.
Oh, right, okay. Driven by Hales, half stopped by Axar, but it'll be a single.
Axar almost there. He did the thing where you kneel behind someone and he was waiting for his teammate to come up and push the batsman over.
That's 50.
That's 50 for Hales.
Brilliant from Hales. What a lad.
Yeah. That's why he should be in a fucking side. I've been saying it for bloody years, mate.
I agree with you there, Bear.
No, disrespected team values.
Fuck that. Exactly. You're a professional sportsman. It's about winning competitions.
Fucking right. That's I've a lot of time for Morgan, but that's one thing I disagreed with him on.
Massively.
No one's going to fucking care about team values if you're winning everything.
Exactly. I mean, that so nearly cost us the 2019 World Cup.
Could have done. Yeah, because Vince was coming in when Hales should have done not doing very much.
Oh, exactly. When Roy got injured, you had a perm of 3 really good openers, and with what was it, Bairstow, Roy, and Hales at the time were all in form. They dropped Hales, and then Roy got injured, and you have Vince.
Weird double standards with someone who literally beat the shit out of a member of the public, and everyone still loved him. And as soon as he was taken, put him back straight in the team, they put him straight back in.
And all because he took a couple of pills at a club at fucking Christmas. I mean, come on.
Yep, agreed with all of that.
I mean, let's face it, most of the English public were doing that at the time. Hardik Pandya is in, and he's been pulled hard by Hales. Not hard enough. Straight to Virat Kohli, who's on the boundary, and it'll be a single. Now Hardik, can he be the man? He was the man with a bat. Can he be the man with a ball?
Maybe. It's probably a good thing he didn't get a bit more of that, actually, because it could have gone straight into...
Well, if he'd have got a lot of it, it could have gone into the stand.
Well, if he'd have got a lot more, it would have gone into the 6, of course.
I've nearly finished my first can of Stella.
What time is it in England right now?
10:30. 10:20.
Okay.
Ramped. That's a great shot by Butler. Oh, has he got enough on it? I'm not sure he has. No,
not quite. No,
run back for 2. There's a stupid...
Oh, that's 3. That's
so
silly.
Run 4. Run 4. That's really village from Shami.
Was rubbish.
Shami, did they run 4? I hope they did.
Got 3, I think.
They should have run 4.
That's the worst bit of fielding I've seen in entire.
They did run 4. So let me
T20 all run 4.
Let me explain.
Over his head.
Butler ramped it down to fine leg. I thought he got enough on to get 4. He didn't. It went too aerial and it slowed down when he got to the boundary. Shami picked it up. Should have just thrown it in. Instead, he did a relay to whoever that was next to him, threw it miles over his head down towards third man, and they managed to get back for an extra 2. So it ended up being a 4. An all-run 4. You don't see many of those in a T20, do you? Hardik is in.
Can't ever remember one.
Tempted cut by Butler, misses it, and it goes through the pan, and there's no run.
By all means, flick it back to the man if you're sprawling on the ground. And
there was no need.
And there's a guy 2 yards away. He's just picked it up and thrown it for
no reason. Just like me, just didn't want to throw it
over his head.
Hardik.
The look on Hardik Pandya's face is just hilarious. Complete contempt. 89 for none, England after 8.3.
Not surprised either.
Well, I don't want to read too much into body language, but India's is not looking good.
No, it's not.
There was a double teapot from Rohit there.
Driven at by Butler. He gets it out to third man. It skews off the outside edge. They should run back for 2. They do.
It would have been quite funny if it had been bamboozled by the spin on the second bounce there and it had gone for 4, but it's complete and over him.
Rahul
idiocy in the
Dravid's not
field.
looking happy, shaking his head in the boundary. It's glum-looking faces in the India
Oh,
dugout.
this is looking really good. England are playing great and are totally going to win this.
Certainly looks that way.
Okay, but
I don't like counting my chickens too early, but I will go along
1,
with
2,
you on
3,
that.
4, 5.
There's 6. There's 6. They're pulled out there by Hardik. Doesn't deliver the delivery.
was that a half a thought at a Mankad? I couldn't be sure.
No, I think he just pulled out when he got to the delivery. So.
Okay.
They've had 6 bowlers have bowled. Booby Carmile's got 2 left. Arshdeep's got 3. Aksar's bowled 3. Has got 1 left. He's gone at 9.3 and over. Shami has had 1 over. He's gone for 11. Ashwin has bowled 1. He's gone for 12. I mean, everyone's going for a lot. Basically.
Yeah. There's no go-to.
Where are you going to stem the runs from? I mean, Hardik at the moment with 2 balls left is the most economical.
I mean, Butler's not even in top gear yet.
No, he's not. He's 36
have
off
to be.
23. Hales has been in top gear, 51 off 29.
Well, guys, let's not get totally carried away.
I'm getting carried away.
You know.
Yeah, you get carried
I'm
away.
booking my final tickets.
Yeah. Hardik is in, crashed by Butler, but can't beat the man at backward point. And it'll be a dot ball. England won't mind that. The odd dot ball and a little bit of one bad over here isn't going to do England any harm whatsoever, is
No.
it? You know, you're getting over a 4. It's not going to be a problem. I just heard Hendo shouting "Bear!" in the back room, but it's true. England. This is a T20. I've seen a lot of them. With 10 overs in the hutch, 10 batsmen in the hutch, and 11 overs to get
Doesn't really matter who
80
comes in
runs.
next now.
Exactly.
You can go Stokes if you like.
Attempted to work it down the third man, missed it, Butler, through to the keeper, and they were on 36 off 25 for Butler, 51 off 29 for Hales, 91 for Nunn after 9. Over to you, Andy.
Yeah, Morg is channeling is in a Hendo because I think he's probably being sarcastic because Hendo was doing his doom and gloom in the green room and I said, oh, come on, Hendo. And he says, I was joking, but he was like sounded exactly like he normally does.
Exactly.
So, and in the same way, Morg is saying scoring rates in T20 are so slow and boring. Ravi Nair, England's last 3 power plays, 181 runs for no wickets.
There you go.
Mike Taylor agrees about values. Values are for moral arbiters like politicians and the clergy, and they don't give a fuck, which they don't. Mog says Virat's going to start stabbing up the joint. There's more fielding fuckery like that. I wouldn't like to be in the changing room afterwards, that's for sure. Angelic Scooters, watching this partnership, I feel less shit and drained about last night's result. Hombre Nuevo.
Concentration break. No, Pant's getting
Hendo getting desperate. He wants it to go badly on some level. He really does. Hombre Nuevo on holiday and early beer medicine has currently quelled nerves. Excitement building. Mayank says fuck this match now. India hasn't even been close to the mark with the ball. Absolutely one-sided again, just like yesterday. So you see, once you get the pessimism of the other side, I mean,
exactly.
Imagine how pessimistic you would be if
you're an Indian fan,
or if you were an England fan in this position.
To add Helion upon Ossa, to use an old phrase,
nice.
Hardik Pandya seems to have maybe pulled something after his first over. He went off touching his hammy or his groin or something, and Rishabh Pant looks like he's injured as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's done his back or something, isn't it? The way they're working his legs, looks like he might have strained his back. So maybe these are the early excuses for the Indians.
Let's go back to that piece of fielding from Shami. Oh dear,
that was hopeless.
I mean, there was not even any need for, and I think that's what Rohit was saying, just throw the fucking ball. And I think he was right.
The question always is, if it was a schoolboy match, would you be legitimately angry with, and yes, you would. It wasn't that.
Well, you wouldn't, you know, start swearing at a 12-year-old, but you'd say, come on, mate, have a look around you.
Yeah, it's not how it works.
Just throw it in.
You've seen something on the telly where you flick it to another player, but you don't do it in a real match.
Yes, absolutely.
And not in that situation as well. He got to the ball easily. They weren't going for a third. You just pick it up, throw it in, and take the 2.
And it could matter. I mean, it probably won't, but you never know.
Well,
talk a little. They missed out on 4 runs in the last ball because Hardik hit his wicket, and didn't he hit his wicket in the last game off a free hit?
Yes.
So he's going a bit too deep in his crease sometimes.
He always goes very deep in his crease.
Yeah, just keep an eye on that. It may not matter in the end, but
Mog says it's the equivalent of a bowler bowling a no ball when they're just trying just sort of pushing the envelope just that little bit too far. Was the last ball.
Mog says strategic momentum fucking muscle cramp.
I think that's probably this is the equivalent of a football
it wasn't just
over, isn't it? To slow the momentum of the game down and have a regroup.
Well, Arshdeep's coming back into the attack in the 10th over. He's going to be bowling at Hales, 51 off 29.
He's not going to get any swing now.
No, he's not going to get any swing now.
Again, I think India bailed out of their plan too early, not giving Arshdeep another over.
Probably.
And we can report there's a huge amount of negative body language, left, right, and centre from the Indians. Lots of double teapots, lots of rolling eyes, lots of shouts.
Well, I mean, if they do lose, can you imagine the opprobrium they're going to get from home?
Ooh, it's not going to be good. I mean, Rohit taking that opportunity to berate everyone, but probably rightly so. Oh, they took drinks there during that injury, which makes a bit of sense.
So we're not going to have a 10 over drinks break. Who's on next? On next after this, it will be Tony taking over from me. Messi will be back. Jason will be in the chairs. And your final 5 overs will be me, Hendo, and Nindo.
What score does it have to be before Hendo has a smile on his face at the end of the 15th
140
over?
For none, with 5-6 overs left.
155.
Arshdeep is going to come in to bowl to Alex Hales on 51. Smashes it out through extra cover. He's going to get 4 for that.
No concentration break there.
No concentration break there. That's a beautiful shot. And Hales is on it.
1 2 ka 4 4 2 ka 1. My name is Lakhan. My name is Lakhan.
Rohit looks like he's about to cry.
Yeah, England have their feet on the boards, flicking rugby balls back and forward without a care in the world in the dugout.
And Rohit looks teary-eyed.
If this was a film, this sort of language there'd be some sort of reversal in the last act of the film. So we're not there yet. That's all I can say.
The hero will get up from being nearly dead and shoot everyone in the room.
Exactly.
Well, Sky, for some reason, aren't giving us the target. It's 74 off 65.
Oh, let's have a look at the GPL actually. Did we get any entries today?
4 off 65, yes.
Did we get any entries today? Let's have a look. See what scores are in the game here. Today we had only 3 entries: 347, 367, and 387. What did they get? 16. We'll get 169. So
they got 168.
So that's 320, 337 to win. No one's going to win. Beautifully clipped by Hales. There is a man at deep back of square leg. It's Sky. It'll be a single. And I mean, Butler hasn't really got going yet, has he? It's all been
not really. I mean, you look at. I'll go back to a few overs ago. A ball being hit, catchable height out to the boundary, and KL Rahul probably isn't getting there, but he didn't even try.
No.
Yeah, it's true. And also, Butler doesn't absolutely need to go into.
No, if Butler keeps going at 150,
but that's absolutely fine with Hales going.
Butler keeps going at 150. That's absolutely perfect because he doesn't have to go into top gear.
Exactly.
Well, fantasy points, first innings. Hardik was the top man, obviously.
It actually makes a difference because if you're taking slightly fewer risks, obviously, slightly fewer chances of a wicket falling, and it becomes a virtuous circle.
Well, exactly. You need to hit the one bad ball and over for 4 and take singles off the rest. Beautifully driven back down the ground. Butler actually hits it so straight.
Very unlucky.
That it hits the stumps at the bowler's end, and they don't even get a single.
I don't think they were getting 4 for that one, but yeah, a little bit unlucky.
No, they probably got 2, wouldn't they? That straight.
But Arshdeep's reduced to coming round the wicket. India are doing a lot of things that they don't want to do just to try to make something happen.
And if he'd have got a toe on that, it'd have been out. For Hales, obviously, run out at the bowler's end. Yeah. Got a great moustache, though, Arshdeep, isn't he? He's got the classic little... who's the guy?
Salvador Dali.
Yes. The little,
it turns thin,
turn-ups at the end. But lovely... thin ones as well, not really big, thick, bushy ones.
Spend an hour waxing that while everybody else is out practicing.
Just to lose in the semi-final. As Butler plays that out to cover, it'll be a dot ball. Only 5 off the first 4 balls of this over. 13 to Arshdeep gone for. He's 1.4 over so far.
Can I just, before I'm only here for another 2 balls, to say I won't be here at the weekend to watch it rain. So thank you very much to the Bear for all his work in the studio over the tournament. And thank you to Tony for all his work on the rotors. I know it's a lot of work.
Yes.
Yep. I'll echo that. I'm not sure where I am on Sunday, but thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate all your efforts.
Well, I'm here for the rain. Arshdeep coming in, 5th ball of the over, round the wicket, pulled by Butler, not particularly well timed, in front of square. Sky is out there in the deep, and it'll be a single, 6 off the over so far. And England closing in on the 100. With 69 required. Well, no.
Josie Oakes keeping the
71.
faith. He says England can still stuff this up.
They can. We've
It's
seen
becoming
it.
increasingly
It would take
unlikely,
some
but
doing.
you just never
I've
know.
seen England do a fuck up like this. I remember one.
No,
really?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so in
yes.
Sri Lanka, we
79 for naught halfway through.
I
We
remember
still won that game. If
Yeah.
you're talking about the game 2 games ago.
No, I'm talking about a game in Sri Lanka before. It wasn't. It might have been an ODI though. No, it was a T20 in Sri Lanka. We managed to lose our last 7 wickets for about 2 runs. As that's plopped up to mid-off, and there'll be a single. If they do lose it from here, it'll be an all-time fuck-up. That's the end of my spell. 98 for none, England after 10. They look like they're cruising it. Hendo's going to beat me up when I get in the back room. Tony's going to come over and take over for me. He's going to be joined by Jason and Messi.
Well, I'll catch you up with tweets first. Brian says, not so early prediction. England win in the 16th with 2 wickets down. Did Bear leave any beers for the final? I think we got some. Mog says, time to buy Indian player effigies and sell them for a huge markup on the streets of Mumbai. Leah, what is this bowling performance? This whole team should retire from all forms of cricket after this game. I agree. Surely Bear and Hendo must be optimistic now, over halfway to the required total with not even half the 20 overs bowled, well over halfway. India players have lost their nerve and are looking for someone else to provide the spark. They are all looking at each other. Ombre Nuevo points out that Moeen did have a lot of strapping on his hand. It might be a concern, and I'll hand you over.
Well, 71 for 60 is what England need. Hardik Pandya's into the attack. Hales has launched him. I don't think he's got enough. Yes, he has. It's hit the sponge. I think that'll be a maximum as well. England are standing in their dugout stroke team area. We're going to wait and see. They're going to have a couple of looks at that. It was pulled away. It is all the way for one of these.
Oh, I say, chap, give me any lift.
36-run lead on the power play. Remember, though, somewhat backloaded was India's innings. Was it not, Jace?
It was. Hardik went absolutely Burko towards the last 3 overs. They scored 80 off the last 7 overs. 88, in fact, off the last 7 overs.
104 off 64, this partnership.
You would have
which,
to go
of course,
in
is England's
reverse
total.
to do that.
Because they've yet to lose a wicket. 104 without loss. Hardik Pandya in. Fuller and Hales just guides it away to mid-wicket. They will be able to come back for 2, though. That's good running. It's 8 off the first 2 of this 11th over. This has been a fine effort so far.
They look flat now. They really do look flat a bit. I mean, I think 170 they'd have been happy with, considering where they were when at the end of the 20 overs.
Rohit really does look like someone's
they really
rained on his barbecue, I'm afraid.
Haven't come out and bowled anywhere near as well as they ended their innings with the bat.
No triumphalism here. Realism, harsh realism is what we need. Until the job is done, away steps Hales. Looks to carve through the offside, but isn't able to. Straight to the fielder, extra cover. No run on this occasion for him. He's got a smile on his face, though. Virat Kohli, well, he's looking rueful, resigned, perhaps even. I don't know. It's hard to say with Kohli.
Well, he was flinging it in with his usual vim and venom earlier on.
Yeah, 106 without loss.
Hales is all smile now. He's 65 or 35 balls.
169 the target. In comes Hardik. That's full. Dug out by Hales. He will get a single to square leg, and that's all he will get. And it'll bring Joss Buttler back onto strike, who comparatively has been quite sedate, really.
He's played the anchor role. When Hales is going like this, you just allow him to keep going, basically.
You do. We were saying, well, you were there, of course, but our thought was, were England and have gone to end up winning in the final, and Hales was man of the match, you really should get Owen Morgan to conduct the interview, was our thought. He'd have to look at him then. He couldn't ignore him if that were to happen. If I was Sky's producer, that's what I would make happen, but I know it's about the host broadcaster, isn't it? We wait for Hardik. Over the wicket he comes. That's a good ball. Buttler had stepped back. Hardik followed him, and all Buttler could do was jab it away down to short backward point, but he will get a single. And for no reason we're looking at the roll-off. I suppose there's some discussion about this pitch. It is a used pitch. India certainly for a while found the going pretty tough, but once Hardik and Virat Kohli had got themselves settled, less tough. it must be said. England looked a bit crestfallen as they walked off, feeling I think they'd let India get away a bit, Jace.
They did, but it's still in two minds as whether 170 is a good score, or an under par score, or whether England are actually batting
Comes
better.
Hardik short, and Hales decides to duck under that, and it means at the end of the 11th over it's 108 without loss, and we can go to the poet of Perth, ensconced in his meteorological cave.
Thank you, Tony. You two are a bit more chipper than when I last spoke with you. Benjamin Hughes is an optimist. He says, please can you give the score more often? Well, we can certainly try and do that.
I think I have been doing
and
that.
Stop talking bollocks, for fuck's sake. Well, there's very little chance of that, I'm afraid. Mike Taylor says, Arshdeep with his Hercule Poirot moustache. There's no murder mystery here. Hales and Butler done it. Mogg says Virat needs to bring himself on to bowl. Well, he's not the skipper, remember. And Brian says, is this England's final form peaking? Can they carry this form into Sunday? India are flatter than a Tripadi.
Sunday isn't there yet. I would discourage any conversation of Sunday until this game is done and the battle were lost and won, and the hurly-burly, or whatever you want to call it. Or Ashwin.
Here comes the big
it's
gamble.
Bloody well all over. You know that.
In comes Ashwin. Full, straight, and guided away down to the deep cover boundary. Hardik Pandya fields be an easy single. 60 needed from 53, 109 without loss, England. I would imagine the mood amongst the majority of the crowd in Adelaide has dampened a little.
Yes.
Ashwin again, back foot, that does turn a bit. And it's steered away into the onside this time by Alex Hales once more. Just an easy strolled single.
Looked like the deuce there, just slightly moving away.
Might well have been.
But
might well have been.
Well enough back in his crease to nudge that down to long on.
Oh, what's the... I'll ask you in a second. That one again is a deucer and goes the other way and is cut. And they will come back for two on this occasion. Good running. Well batted Joss Butler, 41. He moves on to... What's the one that's named after the game that they used to play? The
kabaddi ball.
No, not the kabaddi ball. Messers will know what I'm talking about.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Maybe that is the deucer.
So there
yes,
you're wrong.
Yeah, there is. It's named after a street game.
Oh, tape ball.
No. Oh, Lord. Spin delivery named after someone is going to tell us. Someone will please help me out. As this one is cut away by Butler. Down to Hardik on that deep cover boundary. One more to the score.
You're not talking about Karen ball, are you?
Karen ball, thank you. I knew where I was going. Karen ball, yes. 113 without loss. 5 from this over so far. Ashwin has 2 balls to bowl. That's been picked up by Hales. He sent that all the way. Yes, he has. All the way over deep mid-wicket. That's another mighty one of these.
It may be taking spin, this pitch, very slightly, but it's not taking anywhere near enough for people to put people off hitting it over the short boundaries.
No, it's not extravagant spin. I mean, it's certainly taken turn, but not sharp turn. Rohit looks anguished. That's short and wide and cut, and that's 4 more for Alex Hales. He is absolutely blistering along here. 15 from that Ashwin over. 123 without loss, England. And with 12 overs complete, we will go to Messers.
Well, poor Mayank, who must now have been awake for 30 hours.
Oh, my.
So there's still a possibility for India to win this by simply restricting England even without a wicket. Yeah, I don't think so. And then 2 minutes later he tweets, the pressure after Pakistan winning last night was too much for India. 95.72% chance for England to win. Yes, I think that's spot on.
Adds 2 wickets to the score, Mike.
Can someone tell Butler to just take singles? I would love to see Hales get a century.
Well, I think getting the job done is all that matters for England. 12 overs complete. They're 123 without loss. 169 is what they need, so they'll need 46 runs off 48 balls with 10 wickets in hand. But it's a funny old game. Jos Buttler awaits Hardik Pandya and steers him tidily. They will come back for 2 if they're sharp. They are sharp. 2 away to cover.
They didn't need to be that sharp. That looked like Buttler was ambling his second run there.
Well, they stopped and had a little think as to whether it was a wise thing to do. Ravi Ashwin was the fielder down there. He's doing a double teapot at the moment. Clearly not overly chuffed with life. He's just gone for 15 as well. Not what he would have been wanting in this game.
2 overs for 27, expensive already.
Pandya in. Oh, that's cleverly played by Buttler, who I think was setting himself to pull. Realised he couldn't and arched his back backwards and guided it down to third man instead. He'll move on to 45. England will move on to 126.
As he ambles a single and grinning all over his face.
Well,
oh, look at how well I manoeuvred that ball
well,
away.
he did. Well, I think it was very much a last-minute thought. I was pretty sure he was setting himself to do something other than what ultimately transpired.
Well, it was right over the top of middle stump, so it was a pretty good shot.
Another brick has been removed from the wall, who is sitting there making notes, not looking especially chuffed with life. What's Pandya? Has he got something in his locker? That's hauled high. Is it hauled enough? It's going to be 1 bounce, 2 bounce. I don't think it's going to get there. Who's going to win? The fielder is...
She'll get 3 though, I would have thought.
It's KL Rahul. That will definitely be 3. And KL, who I think, was it KL earlier, who rather watched one through?
Yeah, he sort of waved it on to the boundary.
Yeah. But on that occasion, he gave it his best shot and slid and hauled it in. Short of that long on boundary. Restricted hails to 3. Does move on to 80 though.
At least he didn't throw it over the fielder to throw it back in like Mohammed Shami did and gave them an extra 2 runs.
Pandya in, past rifle, lofted, 1, 2 bounces. That's going to make it down to fine leg from Jos Buttler. His 50 is up. He will move on to 53. A fine shot indeed. And it was one of these. Takes England on to 133 without loss. As a fine shot. These two
it was. I mean, it was well reacted to by Pandya, who saw him moving it and banged it in short, so it's harder to ramp it. And he still managed to get enough on it to get it just over the keeper and down to fine leg.
7 fours, hasn't it a 6 yet? He's not his 50. It's 49 not out.
Oh, premature 50.
I probably did peak a little too early on my 50 expectation. He's on 49, Jos Buttler. He's pulled this away. Has he got enough? Yes, he has. It's flat over mid-wicket into the England dugout. It's a maximum. It's a 50 for Jos Buttler. We're going to have a little jingle fest.
It's 50, and you know that can't be bad.
Prior
Yeah, it's 50. And you know you should be glad.
He can't spell Joss, but he also can't spell Buttler.
Oh, happening
you're
here.
mixing it there.
I'm the Mixmaster DJ Tony Tone this morning. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. This is fantastic stuff. In comes Hardik. Pulled away by Buttler again. Is it going to be fielded out there on the deep mid-wicket boundary? It is. Virat Kohli does the fielding, I think.
It could only be Virat Kohli with that amount of testosterone coming off his body.
That was. You could almost touch it, couldn't you? But I think we might have reached the end. I was getting so excited by my mix mastering that I think we've reached the end of the over. We have. It's 140 without loss for England. We can go to the mighty Messers.
Ravi Nair says this pitch was last used a week ago. As Hendo said, when does the pitch become unused?
Well, fair point.
Moggs says, yeah, sure, Virat isn't really in charge. Angelic Scooter says, got a feeling the ticket resale market for the rain watching on Sunday might be crashing as we speak. Leah got a carom-ball.
Where are they on that,
says,
actually, Messers? You know, you have your finger on the pulse of these things. Have they sold out? Surely they would have sold out in advance, won't it, for a major final?
I would
like
have thought so, but yeah, frankly, there's not going to likely to be any play at all on Sunday, I suspect.
Oh, Lord.
Frank says the greatest collapse in international T20 is the only way India can win. It's been a combination of really good batting and pretty poor bowling, to be honest.
Well, I think you're right. It's 140 England. They need 29 to win. They've got 7 overs to get those. Joss Buttler has been rocketing along at a strike rate of 151. Although by his standards, that's not rocketing. That's a sharp canter.
That's a upward tick from the last 10 balls, I think.
Well, true enough. 56 is what he has off 37. He's going to be facing Mohammed Shami. Right arm quick. And he drives, but he drives straight to cover.
Super piece
Captain
of fielding by
Rohit.
Rohit.
Yeah. Dive to his right.
That was.
He won't give this up. Nobody will be giving this up from the Indian side of things. And it was a fine stop indeed. Buttler very quick to tell Alex Hales to stay where he was. 140 without loss. England within touching distance of the final that they missed out on last year, of course, when they lost to New Zealand in the semi-final. Back foot again, another dot ball. 29 off 40. It shouldn't be pressure, and yet somehow there still is. Those dot balls, Rohit indulges in a little bit of juggling with the ball, which is quite entertaining. And England's still on 140. It's a good start from Mohammed Shami. Virat is, well, just looking like Virat, really. He knows the camera will be on him at least once or twice and over, so he just stays ready. 29 off 40 is what England need. Mohammed Shami has started this over beautifully. He's done that well as well. That's up and over extra cover. It's bisected 2 fielders. It's going to roll into the sponge. It's 4 more for England. It's 4 more for... I thought it was Buttler. It might have been Hales. I'm going to let... Well, I'll do the 4. Yeah. It was just Buttler.
My name is Lakhan. My name is Lakhan.
I was
And that's
doubting
what
myself.
they just need to wait for the bad balls, and they can put them away now. They're in that territory almost.
You don't normally get that many bad balls from Mohammed Shami, but on this occasion, in comes Shami again. That's a beautiful full in-swinging Yorker, but dug out well enough. By Buttler there again is no run on this occasion.
Pretty good over from Shami
without loss.
so far.
Well, yeah, apart from the 4.
Yeah, and that was more a good shot.
And that was a fine shot. Who was it? Was it Andy doing the red versus blue analogy?
Yeah.
In tune with the what do they call the midterm elections over in the US? 25 is what England needs.
This is a red wave.
That's high. Is it long enough though? I think it is. Oh, is it ever? You bet your life. Joss Buttler has caned another monster. And away it goes for one of these. 19 from 37, 150 without loss is up for England. And Joss Buttler through those strong arms of his through this. Blue eyes sparkling underneath the helmet in the Adelaide night. You're right there, Messers. You're chuckling away.
I've got Mog describing you shortly.
Oh Lord!
Well, Henry may actually get his wish.
What is it that worries me that's not necessarily going to be complimentary? 150 without loss, 66 for the gimlet-eyed Joss. Oh, he's done it again, but this has gone even higher. Is it enough this time? No, I don't think it is. It's been dropped. It's been dropped. It's going to go to the boundary as well. The luck is with England. Oh, India, India, India. Oh, poor old Mohammed Shami. He's gone for 10 off his last 2 balls. Suryakumar Yadav, who I will never call Sky, just looks on and goes, oh well, c'est la vie. If it ain't your day, it ain't your day. I'm not actually sure who put that down. We'll jingle up the boundary in a minute once we know who put it down. It was Suryakumar, wasn't it?
Yep.
Kohli, it was probably the presence of his coliness in near proximity that put Suryakumar off, but those are always hard to take as you're running backwards. 154 without loss, 169 the target, 14 overs complete, Messers.
Mog says, MC Bishy Bish, reckon the decks on the wheels of steel, spinning all the platters that matter.
Righto, mate.
Josiak thought it was a Karen ball, not a Karen ball.
I said Karen, with a M. Karen ball. Not cannonball.
And Mayak says, yeah, it looks like a 10-wicket win for England.
Axar Patel round the wicket. Steered away by Alex Hales. He's content with a single. I think we're going to watch that drop again, or are we just watching highlights of the rest? No. Yeah, do you know what? I'm not sure Virat Kohli helped Suryakumar Yadav there. It was a hard one anyway, but Kohli came thundering round and then stopped dead and rather put him off. This one is cut, but cut straight to cover. No run on this occasion.
It's a tough chance, but the technique with going to hands up and then punching the ball away from him didn't help either.
70 off 44 for Just Butler, 81 off 42 for Alex Hales, 155 England. So
well, he won't
one
get
of them could Hales get there?
No, he can't get there, I don't think.
Well, he could with a 6 to finish.
Yeah, you need all the runs.
Axar, back foot, guided by Joss Butler. Sensible cricket. Hendo will approve. I just can sense his approval from the green room. Don't do anything daft. Just take the single. You have time, you have the balls to spare. And England are 156 without loss. Axar Patel again. Oh, that one does turn and wriggles away somehow under the bat of Hales.
I think Hales has smashed it onto his foot there. It's rebounded.
Smacked his toe, as you rightly say, in the process, Jason.
And Pant has done quite well to get hold on it.
Yeah, he played it onto his his ankle, really. Will have been painful, but he's up and ready, waiting to face Axar Patel. He comes in and he's met with a forward defence of test match quality by Alex Hales away into the offside.
We should be having a change at the end of this.
Oh, we should. I've been having so much fun, I'd almost forgotten I had to actually vacate my seat. That's beaten Hales again. Pant whips off the bails, but it won't help. He was well in his ground. Hendo is almost ecstatic. This the world is inverted, not in its natural order. England are 156 without loss. We will go to Messers. Hendo's appeared. I'm going to disappear and have a rub down with the sporting life.
Can someone stay and do jingles, or I'll have to move over there otherwise? And I don't really want to. I'm ensconced. Where's the bear?
Mayank says, I want a rage tweet because I'm so disappointed, but I'm genuinely speechless. Matt Searle says, is it time for the England collapse yet? And Mayank says, a World Cup final being shared due to rain would be a strangely poetic end to this tournament. Leah says, I want to invite the India team for drinks after this game. Now, where to get him knocked?
I think they need it.
Hendo, you need to move
Look,
here.
as I said to you, there was never any doubt about this game. England were always going to win it.
You need to sit here. Otherwise we can't see you. Your
Bear,
fans can't see
Hombre
you.
Nuevo is next.
Do this ball.
Am I doing social? God, I am.
Yeah, pass me the spray.
Oh, the spray. You're going to miss the ball.
Shami in, bowls, and
he's gonna be out.
Butler moves back. He's lifted it into the outfield. It's dropped short of Hardik Pandya. That just seems to have been India's day, doesn't it, really?
Of course.
Ball's not going to the hand. As we were saying as well earlier.
England's been magnificent. I mean, it's just been an unbelievable batting from England and unbelievably poor bowling and captaincy from India.
It's been an absolute shellacking, hasn't it? Really. I mean,
I thought been shocking.
I thought 168 was quite competitive, and actually,
no, it's just
as me and Andy were saying, I mean, if you look at the way hard it went at the end, I know they're a little bit shy of batting deeper, and that kind of maybe puts them off going harder earlier. But if they'd gone harder earlier, looking at the short boundaries here, they could have got close to 200.
Yeah. And with the whole, like I was saying before, I mean, I said right at the beginning, right, you've got Akshar and Ashwin, and they're the weak points in any case. And then to get in Akshar to bowl 2 overs in the power play was about the stupidest captaincy decision I've seen in a very long time.
Shami bowls a slower ball that Butler tries to wait for, and then Nurdle, guide down, fine on the offside, makes no contact, goes through the keeper, there is no run. 158 for no wicket, yes. Do not adjust your sets. Do not adjust your guerrilla cricket button, because England are 11 runs away from moving into the final of the World T20, where, barring something absolutely beyond incredible, at which point I will completely melt, England are going to win.
Well,
this.
if we lose it from here, yeah, I'll be melting as well.
You mean England's going to win the World Cup?
Bowl smashes through the offside. There is a man back at long off. They may only get one here to Suryakumar, who was round really quickly for that one, and they do just accept the one. It's all been Butler for the last few overs, hasn't it? Because Hales was way ahead on 81. Butler has almost caught up with him now, 74 off 48. Hales 81 off 45. I've been waiting to see one of these Hales innings. And we've got
you can't get a tag team better than that.
Yeah, no, you can't. It's been phenomenal from those two. How do you think this will go down in India? Do you think there'll be loads of hand wringing and head shaking? And
I think half the team should go.
Shami bowls, cut, could be a
wow.
wicket here. Has to throw out a hand. Hardik Pandya can't be bothered in the end. Don't blame him. It's gone all the way, or not all the way.
Point?
It's gone for 4, and England are now within touching distance. 6
One
runs,
shot.
1 shot. Extraordinary stuff from Hales.
Well, I think the Indian team has needed a complete overhaul for some time in T20 eyes, and that's just going to happen now.
I guess it will. There's always people looking at their own navels after these sort of experiences.
You've got so many players in the IPL as well, haven't you?
Shami bowls full on the legs, hits him on the pad, appeals for LBW.
I think it was an inside edge.
It might have been an inside edge, or it might have just been swinging down the leg side.
I think that might have been the first time India managed to appeal in 12 overs.
Yeah.
For anything.
Yes, we're just looking at the previous boundary for some reason, not looking at the potential LBW. Hales is not going to get to 100, hasn't got enough runs left to get them, so he won't at least get that landmark.
India's ensured that Hales will not get a century.
Yes, that's their moral victory of the day. 5 from 25, smashed by Butler. That might go all the way, or is he going to be caught? No, it's gone all the way over the top. Joss Butler erupts. He takes off his helmet. He throws his hands and his bat in the air. He's coiled an embrace with Alex Hales. England have absolutely shellacked India here today. They win by 10 wickets. The joy is unconfined in the dugout, because this has been a special batting effort and a pretty good bowling effort as well, you have to say, from England earlier. So a good team effort in that respect, even though no more than 2 batsmen were needed.
You know what brought this on, Hendo?
Go on, what brought it on?
You have an Indian Prime Minister.
That's what it is. That's what it is. No wonder.
That's what you needed to do.
Well, hang on. If we can get cabinet members who are Pakistani, even get a couple of South Africans.
Sadiq Khan.
Sadiq Khan, exactly. Get him in. Well, he can't really be in Rishi Sunak's cabinet, I suppose.
No.
But there you go. Yeah, England have won by 10 wickets, and I'll tell you how many overs are left in a minute. I can't remember. Not many.
4.3,
4.3 overs left. Extraordinary and absolutely despondent Indian team, wandering off very slowly.
Well, to be fair, I don't think if you're India, you can complain about getting beaten by. I mean, that's a team on song, isn't it? I mean, you come up against any team on song like that. I mean, England's opening, they are 2 big power hitters. India's game plan would have been to, if England had lost 3 wickets in the power play, or 2 even, and you lose a couple of your big hitters, and the pressure could have been on. They had to take wickets.
I think India
they didn't
would have,
take
at
wickets.
190 would still have lost this game.
Yeah, at that rate, they would have done, definitely.
But then that extra pressure would have put more pressure on these guys, I think. So, they would have had... There were times in that innings where they'd got a 6 off the first ball, or a 4, and then they knocked it around for singles, which I think was the right thing to do. And they may not have been able to do that had they been chasing 190. Anyway, the England team is now coming out onto the field where they're shaking hands with the Indian team, and we're going to get an England versus Pakistan final. And we haven't seen England play Pakistan for at least 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We've had 7 T20s in Pakistan. We've had 1 warm-up game here in Australia, and now we have a World T20 final between these 2 old adversaries, and that could be a great day if it doesn't rain on Sunday. Let's hope the rain stays away. I feel slightly cheated of my usual anxiety.
Drama.
My drama.
Oh,
yes,
it'll come
absolutely.
on Sunday, don't worry.
It'll come Sunday, yeah.
Did you say doomed even once? No one gave you the
I
chance?
personally didn't, but various people did.
I'm sure he did when Hardik was banging it around at the end. I'm sure.
I was a little bit concerned that he was getting away. It has to be said. Have we got any more final tweets?
Oh, I've got loads.
Let's do the tweets.
So on Brainaway says, so to iterate what was tweeted earlier, floods predicted for Sunday and thunderstorms Monday. Split World Cup, we will be champions of both ODI and T20 if that happens. Mayank says it's going to be a long sign-up flight to New Zealand for India's next series, for India and New Zealand for their next series. Jacko Magarit says, who takes the cup if the final rains out? With not a ball bowled, it is shared, because there is only 1 extra day. It has happened before, didn't it? It happened a couple of ones
Listen,
ago.
I just do not believe that cricketers have to be home by 6 o'clock on a certain day, that you cannot. I mean, short of having a week of thunderstorms or showers, I can't believe that you can't have a second or third rest day.
It should be. It's a final.
It's ridiculous. It's a final. Everyone's gone out there for this tournament. England supporters who paid their money. I think that's crazy.
Indeed. Mog says the way England has.
It would be nice to have a joint winner. I don't think any World Cup cricket World Cups ever had one.
Can we not have a bowl out at the indoor school? That would be better.
Might lose that though.
Yeah,
Mog says the way England has pissed this makes me fear for Pakistan if it does manage to be a final. Hawkster says who gets man of the match, Butler or Hales? That's an interesting one. Probably Hales, I think. Angelic Scooters, just because he got more runs. Who is this weirdo and what's he done with Hendo? Says Angelic Scooters. Brian says, will my 16th over win prediction come off?
It did.
Yes, it did indeed.
End of the 16th over.
End of the 16th over. Mog said, good gods, the light and delight in Hendo's voice right now is so uplifting. Adam Katie Etiek says, does even Hendo, the eternal pessimist, reckon that England might be able to at least make it to a super over? Yes, that was obviously 3 minutes ago before the game 6. Well, fucking cop that, India, says Mog. I had every confidence. Reason for victory equals Australian coach.
Could be.
Crypto Rocketeer says, absolutely beautiful, and with a picture of the scorecard. Jay says, well, blimey, thank you all very much. Thank you, Jay, for being here. Why is Bear smoking his spliff like a 12-year-old roadman? What are you on about? I'm smoking it like it used to be a cigarette. Shh. Who is coach? Says Josie Oak. I don't know. Who is coach?
Matthew Mott.
Matthew Mott, yeah, he's Australian. Well, my reverse jinxing worked, says Ravi Nair. Mayank says, well done, England. Will there be a final? Who knows? That's very true. If anyone can manage a week of thunderstorms at Gorilla Hendo, it's Melbourne.
No, Melbourne. I mean, it's supposed to have 4 seasons in one day, isn't it, Melbourne? It's just having one season all day, every day at the moment, seemingly. The monsoon season. Very strange indeed. Yes, I'm pleased that England have finally kind of fulfilled their potential in a way.
Yes.
I mean, and you talk about the man of the match being Alex Hales, and it does look like it has been given to him, but I actually would give it to Butler, and the reason I'd give it to Butler is because I thought he captained pretty well. I think he manoeuvred his bowlers well. He got a couple out of Stokes. He got some extra ones out of Livingston as well. Didn't in the end use Moeen Ali. So I think he sort of contributed a little bit more. But I guess losing an early wicket like Hales would have been a problem, because I mean, in Australia they know what Hales can do, don't they? They know all about him, and that would have always worried the Indians while he was out there. The two of them together is just a nightmare, really. Anyway, that'll be about it, won't it?
It will be.
Do we have a GPL winner?
Oh no! How many runs scored in the day?
Oh goodness knows.
England got 170, and they got 168.
339, isn't it?
337.
338. 338. Any
347 was the lowest score. So.
There you go. Well, there you go. That's about it. Only to say, of course, that if you've enjoyed our commentary, please become a Patreon. Patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket. You get the Bishop and Bear podcast for Nout. You get the Smaximum weekly views letter for Nout. And now, even if you're not a Patreon, you get the new Quizcast, which is called Who's That Weirdo?
Yep.
And do you want to play a jingle? Do you want to play a jingle? Who's That Weirdo jingle? Just so give people a taste of the...
What did I put it in again? I can't even remember.
You put it in theme tunes.
Yeah, is it in theme tunes? It's a great jingle.
It's a great jingle. Let's listen to it.
There is another one, actually.
Who's that weirdo? Who's that weirdo? Who's that weirdo? Chris Harris, Kevin O'Brien. Who's that weirdo?
So if you haven't had enough of Gorilla Cricket for today, go to our website, find the podcast at the top of our podcast list, and have a listen to Who's That Weirdo. Let us know what you think, and we'll be doing another one next week.
I'll leave you with this tweet, Steve Kellett.
Yep.
Who is going to win the pessimism contest on Sunday? No.
Well, pessimistic. There'll be 2 reasons to be pessimistic: the rain and England not winning.
Exactly.
So,
Pakistan fans are always pessimistic as well.
Well, that's true. I mean, but you look at England doing that 10-wicket win. Remember that Pakistan did the same to England. And I think the second of the T20s that they played in Pakistan.
It will be a battle of the Openers.
It wasn't the World Cup final.
It wasn't the World Cup final. Absolutely
it's true.
right.
I mean, this is the thing. If Rizwan and Baba get going, they are dangerous. If you can get them early, they are a side that you feel you can. I mean, they've got good bowling attack, but they're a side you feel you can restrict to 140, 150.
Exactly what you'd say about Butler and Hales, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 tremendous opening partnerships.
I think we got better.
I just wanted to point out they sent Adil Rashid to speak to Owen Morgan, so Hales didn't have to do it.
Right, that's what it is. Adil Rashid has been sent out as the emissary of Alex Hales to speak to the Irishman turned Englishman.
I would say on that Pakistan-England thing, I think we got a better middle order. Certainly got more power, deeper.
Yeah, that was the problem they had, I think, wasn't it, in those T20s, is that they didn't, their middle order batsmen didn't get enough goes, basically.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's it. Go and listen to Who's That Weirdo. Join us again on Sunday morning for what we hope will be a cracking final between England and Pakistan. It's been great fun having Forthy and Messi and Anindo joining us from their various points around the world. I've also had Andy Ward in here. We've had Jason, we've had Tony, we've had the Bear, and you've had me, Gorilla Hendo. Until Sunday morning at about 7:50 a.m. GMT. It's goodbye from everyone from a very happy Gorilla Cricket.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. See you
Bye-bye.
later. Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Carol Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than red counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act. But people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pasco, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. Would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman